All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour one of Jon and Jim. We're at the Naughty Barrel here at 9th and Market, just 2 blocks from Petco Park. We'll be here until 6 p.m. This is the spot to kick off your weekend. They have you covered for the Belmont. The final leg of the Triple Crown is just a day away, and we have wall-to-wall coverage of it over the next 3 hours.
We do.
The first horse that will join us is going to join us momentarily.
Yeah, Buckwheat.
Buckwheat not his jockey.
No.
The horse is here.
The horse's name is Buckwheat.
I don't know if he's going to say anything of interest for our listeners, but he will
it's
join us on
air. It's hard interviewing an animal, especially a horse, for
it's very
horse
their
racing.
Headsets don't even fit their head.
They don't. I don't think they really speak like English.
This is your play. It's also your play for Padres weekend against the Diamondbacks with a 6:40 first pitch tonight.
Did you hear that? Yeah.
I did. Between the Padres and D-backs, the Padres. It's up a 5-game losing streak. Of course, our Padres insider Kevin Acee will join the show coming up at 4:30. We've been using this talkback mic. You guys have been using it as well. Here's the question today. If you want to hear your response on air at this hour, what is the Padres' biggest need in your opinion? There's no right answer. So what is the Padres' biggest area of need in your opinion? You can open up the free iHeartRadio app, listen to the San Diego Sports 760, tap the microphone icon next to the play button, leave a 30-second talkback. We'll play your responses later this hour. But again, what is the Padres' biggest area of need? We'll play your responses back later this hour. So the Padres lose a 5th consecutive game. Thank you so much. Oh, that is very kind and not necessary. Thank you. Seriously. Appreciate you doing that. Padres have lost 5 straight. Everything's deja vu all over again. I'm drinking kombucha. Padres are losing. Manny Machado is out for a 2nd consecutive game. You just said it in your update. And I don't know what it's going to take to turn around. I have absolutely no idea. I mean, the 2 teams under 500. That's why I say what's their biggest. It's a little bit. Who said it last year in the clubhouse? Like, hey, what's wrong with us?
Nelson Cruz.
Nelson Cruz to the media. It was like, hey, Jake, what's wrong with us?
What's the problem? I don't know.
I honestly have no. Tell me what the problem is, Jim. I mean, watching these 5 games, they have 5 quality starts, out-hit their opponents, lose all of them by like a run.
Right.
I don't know what the problem is. I don't know if they do either.
Well, I mean, if you listen to Mike Schilt, nothing's the problem. They're playing great baseball. They're ballers. They
he did say that.
They're doing a lot of things well right now. They're just not getting the wins. That's all, John. That's pretty much what the manager of this team is relaying to the fan base. That, guys, we're going to turn it around. Don't worry. We're doing a lot of great things right now. We got a bunch of ballers on this team. I love this team. And we're just not getting the results. It's fine.
It's like a direct quote.
Like, that's like basically a direct quote from the manager of this baseball team that, again, I think people are taking it the wrong way when I am, like, going after Mike Schilt for his post-game press conferences about this team when they lose, thinking that I want him to blast the players, or blast the team, or call out Manny Machado or Xander Bogaerts or whoever on this team for the struggles that they're going through right now. That's not what I'm asking at all. I think that would be like clubhouse suicide with this ball club. If Mike Schilt, after a game, went to the post-game presser and was like, Manny Machado right now needs to be better. Like, I'm not saying that at all. What I am trying to relay is that what Mike Schilt is telling the fan base, the media, the public, whoever, is a completely different story than what we are all watching on the field play out.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And it's mind-boggling to me how this team, where they're at right now in the standings, albeit, yes, they have the final wild card spot in the below-average National League, but with the same exact record as they had last year at this time. And you're telling me everything's fine, everything's okay, these guys are a bunch of ballers, we're doing a lot of things great, blah, 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 blah. When in reality, Mike, your team right now is what, John? 7 for their last 40-something with runners in scoring position in the last 5 games.
7 for 42.
You continue to get thrown out on the base path, making stupid, dumb base running errors. You are on a 5-game losing streak. You're under 500. You can't hit lefties. You're 13-20 at home. That's not the picture that Mike Schultz painted right now to the media and the fans.
Yeah, that's spot on. I have more of an issue with what you're saying than actually some of the strategic decisions or lack thereof in game. I honestly
What you have?
I know I have more. I agree more with what you're saying about Show, but I tend to take more exception to what he says post game than any maneuvering or lack thereof in game. I'll give you an example. You've lost your mind over this. I haven't. The fact that he bunted in the eighth inning down a run to me is not at all anything to lose sleep over. A lot of teams, maybe half of them or more, would do the exact same thing. They gave up an out on it. The world would continue to spin. I mean, they've also had a lot of bunt base hits this year. They've also used their speed to their advantage. They also were 1 for 14 with men in scoring position. What's the bigger story? The called third strike at the end of the game, or bunting a guy over, or the fact that they just can't hit and they go 1 for 14 with men in scoring position? Like, it's not the reason they're 32 and 34 is not because Mike Schilt elected to bunt Turkson Profar, Jackson Merrill, who
Profar was on.
Profar was on himself. Well, Jackson Merrill
Jackson
bunted in the
Merrill
eighth inning. That's not the reason why they lost the game.
No, it wasn't. You're right. It was not the reason. The reason was, once again, they're getting thrown out in the base pass, making stupid base running errors. And they went 1 for 14 with runners in scoring
They
position.
had their chances.
And I do have a problem with the bunt in the eighth inning. I don't have the problem with the Profar bunt because there's still a lot of time left in that game. But in the eighth inning, the idea of, okay, right now in our 5-game losing streak, we can't hit with runners in scoring position. And you're bunting a guy over to bring up
Kimmy and Wadey,
two guys at the bottom of their lineup that, I mean, how much confidence do you really have in those two guys to get it done? Probably not a lot, even though Schilt has confidence in his players no matter what. But at the same time, you're giving up outs and you're playing for the tie. Like, that is words from Mike Schilt's mouth. They were playing for the tie last night.
That's what most teams do at home.
So
you extend the game out. You try to get even. You have last licks, right?
I would argue that it would be cool to play for the win.
Yeah, but I mean, nobody knows. If Jackson Merrill swings away, we don't know if it starts a 5-run inning. He might strike out. He might ground into a double play. He might pop out.
But you have a better opportunity to have a 5-run inning if you swing away than if you bunt.
Maybe, but you have a better chance to score a run. We'd have to look at, like, does the book say runner at first, nobody out gives you a better chance of scoring than runner at second and 1 out?
I'm just sitting here trying to think about what.
It's easy in hindsight.
Well, I think that's,
you know what I'm saying? Like, what if Kim has a hit?
Here's what I'm trying to say. Okay, I get it. The hindsight thing, we do that all the time. I understand. But him calling for the bunt there to play for the tie does not match his words about his team always being aggressive. We're going to, like, that doesn't match.
Yeah, but it's one circumstance. You know what I mean? You can't always have your foot on the gas. Sometimes you have to consider the circumstance of the game. We're down a run in the eighth inning. What is the best way to tie it or take a lead? In his opinion, in that moment, it was moving a runner. I mean, is that egregious of a decision?
Well, it didn't work out.
So it didn't work out. No, it doesn't mean he's wrong because it didn't work out. There's a lot of decisions that don't work out. Doesn't mean the manager's wrong. Hitters come through at what % clips? Pitchers with 2 ERAs give up 2 runs every 9 innings.
I didn't like it because of the mindset that Mike Schilt's implementing for this team as being aggressive. And when I hear a manager say we're playing for a tie, I cringe. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, isn't the whole goal to win here?
I understand what you're saying. I mean, we can agree to disagree. I respect your opinion, but I don't think the opinion automatically is right or wrong just because I have it or you have it. That is a very arguable position to be in. There's a lot of managers in baseball that would do the exact same thing down a run in the eighth inning. A lot. Because that's baseball. I mean, that's the whole purpose of the bunt is basically the spot. And there's also we saw it today.
And I think there's also a lot of managers that would say, hey, swing away. I have more confidence in you as a hitter than giving up an out here.
Probably. You also have a 20-year-old center fielder that's had a decent season, but he's not like some guaranteed hit machine. He's hitting 260. He's not hitting 330. It's not Luis Ariz. You want to hear from Mike Schilt? This is exactly what he said post-game. Padres lose again. Their 5th consecutive loss overall. This is Mike Schilt last night.
Disappointing and frustrating, but even more so on a night like tonight where it seemed like guys were really fighting, and especially Jake in that last at bat to have it.
Yeah, even more so because you'd like to have a chance to actually end the game on your own terms. I respect the umpiring profession highly, and I don't complain a lot. I got guys busting their asses all night. I got a guy with a little mild strain with his hip flexor who shows up and willing to take an at bat, try to win us a ball game. That guy's playing their asses off all over the field, competing their tails off. Crony's in a dogfight there at the end against their closer. We get a guy on base, Pro works a walk, steals a bag, gets a chance to tie a game, brings Suarez in. Listen, man, you can't end a game when the ball, 6 inches off the plate and borderline high. I mean, listen, that's just not acceptable. And again, we lost. I take ownership of that. Don't want to blame anybody, but that's a bad way to end the ball game.
Higgy tonight straightened one out.
Yeah.
He seems to be coming around. Might it be a case of whoever's hot being your catcher?
I think it's going to be a combination of things. I think it's going to be, like tomorrow camp, he's going to grab King, and then, he's going to grab Waldy. He'll grab Waldy on Saturday. So we'll just take it. But good news is for Higgy, good at bats, got some pop. Obviously, kept it fair. Did a nice job again behind the plate. So he's earning his opportunities for sure.
The 2 sacrifice bunts tonight, were those both called sacrifices, each of them?
Yeah, I mean, look, we always are giving guys opportunity. Pro saw what he saw and took advantage of it. And Jackson was, hey, get him over and let's give a shot at Kimmy and Wadey.
You're content kind of there, knowing the situation, knowing that.
Yeah, I mean, Jackson was more called.
Okay.
Yeah.
So playing for the tie there, can you kind of go into what this?
Yeah, because I mean, we're at home. We got Suarez rested. We got to get the lead. We got to tie before we can get the lead. So, yeah, we hadn't played with too late with a tie ball game or so we want to take our shot and get our closer in there.
Okay, so get their closer in there in a tie game.
Well, Robert Suarez hasn't pitched since you were 29.
That's true. He
You know
hasn't
what I
pitched
mean?
since before I met Aaron.
And he ain't going to be pitching if they're trailing. Presumably, at some point, they're going to need to do it because he has to pitch.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, okay, we can be critical of the strategy. That's fine. But I still don't think the strategy is the end-all, be-all of what happened last night.
No. I agree on that. It's not the end-all, be-all. It's a moment in the game, which for me, I raise my eyebrows like, we're giving up outs here? And we're giving up outs to put guys in position with the team that can't hit with runners in scoring position right now. Now, again, granted, it's even if Jackson Merrill got a hit,
they'd have a man in scoring position.
They'd have a man in scoring position, but still, you gave up an out there. And if Jackson got a hit,
yeah, there'd be nobody out.
There'd be nobody out.
Right. Or if Jackson made out, which he's done 74% of the time because he hits 260. You know what I mean? Like, again, the math on it is very fuzzy.
The
math
fuzzy,
on it is very fuzzy.
But it also seemingly doesn't really match up with
the aggressiveness.
Again, his words of he wants to be an aggressive team.
You know what? A little bit of it, I agree with you. That you've lost 4 straight. You got Manny Machado on one leg. You have Xander Bogaerts out. You have Joe Musgrove out. You have Yu Darvish out. You have an unhealthy or not fully healthy Luis Ariz. Like, you have to do something to snap that. And I don't know what plays into that. Like, maybe it's a different decision if they've lost 4 straight. Maybe say roll the dice and lost 4 straight. Who cares? Swing away. Lose again. Score 5 years.
Another good point. Like, you got to do everything you possibly can to try to win last night's game. So this thing doesn't snowball here to 5, 6, 7 games in a row that you lost. And now you're at 5. And the words of like we were playing for a tie.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Maybe it's more semantics than anything else. I think the primary takeaway for me, and I said it last time in the wrap up, so I'll say it again, is the team, the way it's constructed now, even in this mid-national league, is not good enough to make the postseason. Here's why. Musgrove and Darvish are real injuries that could impact you for the rest of the year. Manny Machado is not 100%. We don't know when he will be. Right. Xander Bogaerts is out. You can argue whether that matters or not. Right. But you add up this full combination, and you tell me if you're confident in a 32-34 team that now is taking on water due to injury is going to put it together without getting outside help. Like, I don't have that confidence, even in a National League where an 81-win team could make the postseason. Like you said, they've got the same record as last year. They've got the same record as last year. What are they going to do about it? And I think the internal options of, well, we'll figure it out without Musgrove and Darvish. I mean, I just don't see a path where they can do that. Now, they're not going to do it. AJ Preller is so aggressive. Speaking of aggressiveness, he's not playing for any tie. He wins or loses. He's lost a lot. But my guess is he's going to do something because I think they're watching the same thing we're watching, which is like over 162. I don't know if I see it.
Are they watching the same thing we're watching? And by they, I mean
Well, maybe not what Schulte says. Maybe not what he says.
It's
Right, we're a bunch of ballers. I love this team. They
yeah,
can do no wrong. That's I agree with
yeah.
you.
It's like nails on a chalkboard. But I do think that they will make a move. Again, whatever move they make, how significant will it be to be determined? And even if it is another significant move where you give up a couple top prospects, what are you going to become? An 83 win team?
Right, it's a good point.
An 84 win team?
Well, that could be like the second wild card.
Probably. But like that's the point of where you go here and what the options you're weighing. Do we want to unload the farm once again for a guy like Crochet from the White Sox, who again is a guy that's never had this is his career year as far as he's pitched. He has, I think he's had Tommy John surgery in his career a long time before.
He's had a surgery. I don't know if it was Tommy John.
And this is his first year as a starter. And there's like, what, 90 something games left in the season, right? It's not 20 games left in the season. First year starter. You want to unload the farm for that guy to be an 83 win team?
Well, I want the meme that's like the do something stick. I want them to do something because I'm realizing by watching this team day in and day out.
But they have done
that,
a lot.
Yeah, but they also have done a lot before they lost Yu Darvish and Joe Musgrove and Xander Bogaerts and Manny Machado and Luis Ariz. Machado's not healthy, could go on the IL. We have no idea. He's out for a second consecutive day. Luis Ariz says he's still sore. He had an injury on Sunday. So, like, we said day one, they're playing for an inside strike because they're thin and have no depth. And if their depth is tested, they're in trouble. Guess what? On June 8th or June 7th, their depth has been tested. Can they deal with it for 4 months? They haven't been good when healthy. Why would we expect them to be good when they're not?
I mean, the depth right now is considerably better than it was at the start of the season because they've added Donovan Solano, who I think was a nice addition to this team. David Peralta, albeit not doing much at the plate right now. He is, I think, better than a Graham Pauley option, right? Which they started the year with. Where do they go from here? I don't know, but I'm just saying when you look at the risks and rewards of potentially unloading on the farm system here and trading for another big piece to become what? Like an 83, 84 win team. And even if you do make the postseason, you can parade around that we made the postseason. Everything's great. We made the postseason 2 of the last 3 seasons. Why are you guys being critical of this team? But
is the ulterior better? The opposite? You don't make the move. You keep the farm intact. You win 80 games. You miss out. And you play for 2025.
Or what if they win 80 games and they still make the postseason because this National
What
League sucks?
if? I agree. Or what if they trade for Garrett Crochet and win the World Series? Nobody has any idea.
Or if they trade for Garrett Crochet, they still miss the postseason.
Nobody has any idea. That's the point. It's calculated risk. Just like bonding with a man at first and nobody out. It's calculated risk. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you make a trade, it pays off. Other times it doesn't. Nobody really knows. That's AJ Preller's job, to add it all up and figure out what makes the most sense for this team. But what I know right now is that
they need a freaking
they've
win
scored
tonight.
11 runs in 5 games, and they're 0-5 in those 5 games, and they don't have Yu Darvish and Joe Musgrove. That's what I know. That it's both the offensive side, because they're not scoring, the pitching, where in the short term they pitch fine, but they have to make starts for the next 96 games without 2 of their starters. Knowing all this, there are problems, rocky patches ahead.
Yeah, long term, the injuries to Darvish and Musgrove, those are issues.
Massive.
But I mean, short term here, John. Where's the stat? Like, this is the first time in the history of baseball
5 consecutive quality starts, out hitting an opponent 5 consecutive games, and going 0-5.
The pitching has not been the problem here for the last 5 games without Darvish and Musgrove.
Yeah, you agree. Well, that's such a small size.
I mean, it is. No, I agree. Long term wise, it's a problem. Short term wise, during this 5-game losing streak, has not been the issue. The issue's been the team can't hit, the runners in scoring position is a problem. They still can't hit lefties.
Hence the question: what's their biggest area of need? Is it their pitching staff? Is it their offense? Both are problems.
Can both be an option.
Yeah, I guess that's what we're saying. All right, we are at the Naughty Barrel downtown. Cloudy skies overhead. Dare I say marine layer for Game 2? Padres and Diamondbacks about 60, 65 degrees here in downtown San Diego. Jon and Jim just underway. Kevin Acee will join the show coming up at 4:30. Let's hear from Joe Musgrove in his own words. Marty Caswell was there yesterday when he spoke to the media. So we'll hear from Joe Musgrove What's the prognosis? Will he return or not for the Padres this season? And what does it mean for San Diego? Plus, Kevin Acee, our Padres insider, joins the show coming up at 4:30. We're here until 6 p.m. Come join us. Scotty Barrel, 9th and Market. It's Jon and Jim. All right, Joe Musgrove, in his own words, on his injury. You'll hear from Joe coming up next on Jon and Jim.
All right, this update is brought to you by the California Department of Public Health. Padres, right now, a 5-game losing streak as they lost game 1 of the 4-game series last night to the D-backs. Game 2 of that series tonight at Petco Park. 6:40 first pitch. Michael King on the mound for the Padres. Manny Machado not in the lineup again tonight. He did have a pinch hit last night, but the IL still remains a real possibility for him. Moving over to the NBA Finals, game 1 last night. Boston all over the Mavericks to take game 1 of the series. Game 2 will be on Sunday night in Boston as the Celtics are looking for a 2-0 series lead. Their tip-off time, 5 p.m. What does it take to take on Alzheimer's? Courage to learn the facts and know the signs, and confidence to talk to your healthcare provider about screening and early detection. Find out how you can take on Alzheimer's at takeonalz.com.
We look for the most fired up members of the faithful before this weekend series with the Diamondbacks. Live from Naughty Barrel, 844 Market Street. Now back to Jon and Jim.
All right, 9th and Market, Naughty Barrel, here until 6 p.m. Getting you ready for game 2 of a 4-game series between the Padres and the Diamondbacks. Jon and Jim with you. Hope you can swing by. Great food and drink inside here at the Naughty Barrel. Coming up in about 15 minutes, an update on Jaden Ledee, the former Aztec. Where has he worked out as the NBA draft is approaching in about 2.5 weeks? But Joe Musgrove, in his own words, on his status. Let's hear from Joe and react. I mean, this is a huge storyline for the Padres. $100 million man, 5-year deal, 180-inning pitcher a couple of times as a Padre, currently on the IL. Here was Joe Musgrove yesterday.
Could be better. Physically, I'm, just struggling to get the ball out of my hand right now. So it's kind of part of the thing of pitching is, these things pop up. You got to address them, and that's what we're trying to do.
Injuries are part of this game, but how frustrating is it to deal with this a second time this season?
Yeah, I mean, we tried to get back as fast as possible. I got the injection. I felt really good. I felt like, it was better and I was going to be good. And sure enough, we just need to rest it a little longer. So felt good after 2 starts, started creeping back in, and ultimately ended up back in a very similar spot. So didn't give it much rest time before, 2-3 days off. Now they're suggesting a good 2 weeks of, downtime with throwing. So
coming back rather quickly, do you think did that aggravate things, or was this inevitable?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how the body chemistry works in that area, but, obviously very little rest. I know the injections help a lot, but I think clearly I just went a little bit too quick. So other than that, I don't really have a very clear answer for what I could have done different or what's really going on in there.
After that last IL stint, I remember you're like, what, I'm going to be back quickly. Like, you were feeling really good. What's the thought right now? I mean, do you expect to, pitching injuries arm injuries are serious. Do you expect to pitch again this season?
Yeah, I take things day by day, especially when I'm injured. I'm just looking to make a little progress each day. I'm definitely going to be down for 2 weeks of throwing. So in these 2 weeks, I'm just looking to get slightly better each day. And hopefully at the end of those 2 weeks, I'll be ready to start playing some catch and start building back. Surgery is not in the question right now. I'm not even thinking about that. I feel like after these 2 weeks of rest, I'm going to be in a good shape and be able to build back. And if I'm not, I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But, for now, I feel like 2 weeks of rest with the injection is going to be, do me a lot of good.
Last thing, how are guys in this clubhouse feeling right now? I mean, to lose you and Darvish, that same injury, we know Xander's out for a while, Manny goes down. I mean, what's the mood inside that?
Yeah, things go by too fast to, to feel bad for anybody or to, to sulk or worry or concern. It's, next man up. We got some good options right now. Randy's been throwing the ball well. Mazer looked really good in his debut. I don't think anybody's excited about losing some of the guys we've lost over the last couple of weeks, but that's how the game goes. These injuries are never expected. They're going to come for somebody, but you never know who it's going to be. So you try to, deal with it as fast as you can, get yourself right, and get back in the mix.
What do you make of that?
Yeah, I mean, I do think
I
think that what we talked about a little bit during the fusion, there's this fine line between trying to do everything in your power to get back, but also doing something that isn't necessarily wise. Like when he was shut down to stop throwing for 2 or 3 days, clearly that wasn't the right course of action. He needed to take more time off because here we are back in this predicament. I mean, who has an arm injury or an elbow injury and takes 2 days off and thinks that's going to solve the injury? I mean, you have to do a lot more than that to determine what's going on. And you may have to do a lot more than just not playing or just shutting it down for 2 weeks as well.
I said this during the fusion. Who is in charge of the medical staff here with the Padres? Who is the head trainer for the Padres?
They exist.
I know they exist because I see them all the time.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, it seems like with Musgrove and now Manny, these guys are regulating their own workout and regimen program to get back on the field. Where is somebody to say, Joe, you are not going to be throwing for the next 2 or 3 weeks? Who is that person to step in and take charge of this situation and not leave it in the hands of the players?
It's a fair question, but in the moment, who knows what the circumstance? Well, it's never exact. You know what I mean? You go to the doctor and say, my knee hurts. They're not like, hey, you have to stay off your knee for 2 weeks and that'll solve the issue. Some people stay off their knee for a day. Other people have a surgery. Some people take medication. Some people are younger. Some people are older. It's not an exact science. And these are professional athletes, and they do know their bodies. And sometimes they need more than just their own intuition or fruition to figure it out. And that's why they do obviously have a medical staff. So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure he got some type of medical advice in the process. Now, unfortunately, it hasn't worked out the way that clearly they wanted it to because he's back on the IL. But I don't know if it's because of the training staff or Joe Musgrove or just because his arm is in a bad state right now.
And I don't know what was told to him or what the recommendation was, or if the training staff was like, yeah, go out and throw. Okay, it's fine. But what I have zero confidence in is this team when it comes to injuries. I just big time injuries. I just don't have a confidence in this team that they're gonna get it right with the rehab and the recommendations and everything that goes into getting these guys back on the field healthy, especially when it comes to pitchers, mostly pitchers, because that's where this team and franchise has a horrible job of maintaining or managing those injuries.
But no matter what they did, I guess this is the devil's advocate. Let's say they shut him down for 2 weeks and he was still hurt.
Okay.
If your elbow is hurt, if you have bone spurs, you have bone spurs. You could, as in, does it even matter? If he's going to miss the time, he's going to miss the time. So he ramped up, made a start, goes back on the IL. The alternative would have been what? Not making the start, staying on the IL, and still being hurt. Isn't he hurt either way? If he's got bone spurs, he's got bone spurs. If he's not going to pitch again, he's not going to pitch again.
Well, if someone told him, look, we need you to shut it down for 2 weeks, and Joe's like,
right, no,
I feel fine, and I'm good with 3 days.
Yeah.
That's where I have the problem. And again, I don't know if that happened at all. You're right. I don't know. But when I hear Joe be like, man, I probably shouldn't have done that.
Right.
What? That's just, it's crazy. That's crazy.
Well, it's I understand what you're saying. I really do. And I do see it from the player perspective of this fine line, hey, I think I can help. I'm not 100% certain. Manny Machado last night, I think I can help. Let me grab a bat. I know I'm not 100%, but wouldn't you trust me over some other options on your bench? Wouldn't you trust Joe? I'm making this up.
The player will always resort to, I feel good enough to go out there and play. Almost every time, unless they
maybe
literally have tore something or broke something. More often than not, the player is going to say, I'm good. And I know Schulte loves that about his team and loved that about Manny Machado last night. Bunch of gamers and ballers. But at some point, they're going to need somebody to be like, you know what? Yeah, no.
But they kind of did. I mean, he went on an IL time 1. He went on the IL the first time.
And he threw a baseball 3 days later.
Okay. I mean, again, that's a whole nother conversation. Because I guess my point is, if he would have thrown a baseball 13 days later, would anything be different? We don't know. Because right now he's on this 2-week shutdown.
Yeah.
Where if he comes out of the 2-week shutdown and it still doesn't go right,
whatever they did,
didn't work. Yeah, but what if he was just hurt regardless?
Well,
you know what I mean? We've been saying, hey, maybe this guy's damaged. He had the injury last year to his shoulder. He had low velocity all spring. He's had 2 IL stints. Maybe he's hurt.
It's one of those things where you sprain your ankle and you feel good enough the next day, and then you try to go do whatever you're trying to do,
and it hurts.
And you're like, oh, that's not. I shouldn't have done that type of thing. And that's what I feel like it is with Joe. He got hurt. Okay, they were yelling from the mountaintops, it's precautionary, everything's fine, no problem with Joe. And I remember sitting here at the Naughty Barrel that exact day saying,
it's being skeptical.
yeah, I don't know about that one. But yet all we're told by the team is everything's fine. This is precautionary. I trust Joe. Well, guess what? It was more than just precautionary because when he came back, he got injured right away. And he even said there, I should not have thrown as quickly as I did when I went on the IL. Whose fault is that? I don't know.
I don't know.
But still,
is it
it's
Joe Musgrove's?
but it's somebody's fault. I don't know who it is though.
Yeah, no, I understand it. You've always been like this for years. Like they said precautionary and they were wrong. What else would they say? You never put someone on the IL and say it's a season ender until you know it's a season ender. I
Well,
mean, what would they say?
No, I know that, but even when they do say that, their track record of injuries with like mostly pitchers and their arms are horrific.
Well,
It's not
pitchers
good.
that have arm injuries have bad turnouts.
There was an article I think one time by Kevin or Dennis.
They weren't the worst in baseball.
but they were a really bad team when it came to arm injuries.
Yeah, but again, it's like you have an arm injury in baseball, even if you play for the Dodgers, and we've seen a lot of Dodgers get shut down with arm injuries. Like I don't know, it's the nature of the beast.
In conclusion, I am very, very worried about Joe.
Yeah,
Still
no doubt.
am,
That's
no matter like I hear him speak, doesn't sound encouraging at all.
No.
When you're talking about his elbow and bone spurs and him literally saying it does not feel right coming out of my hand. His velocity is down this year when he was out there.
That's why they're talking to the Chicago White Sox.
Yeah, that's
why
they're
they're
talking to a lot of
talking to
other
the Chicago
teams
White
too.
Sox.
Yeah.
On the other side, we've got the latest on Jaden Ledee with the NBA draft approaching. Plus, yesterday, after working out the Warriors, he discussed his time at San Diego State. So we'll hear from Jaden Ledee on the other side. Kevin Acee is our Padres insider. He will join us at 4:30. We're at the Naughty Barrel downtown, 9th and Market, getting you ready for Padres and D-backs. Game 2 of a 4-game series at Petco Park. It's Jon and Jim. Where will San Diego State's Jaden Ledee end up with the NBA draft approaching? Plus, Kevin Acee, our Padres insider, joins us at 4:30.
We're live at Knotty Barrel with the Friar faithful ahead of tonight's game at Petco versus the Diamondbacks. Now back to Jon and Jim.
All right, Kevin Acee's our Padres insider. He'll join us coming up at 4:30. The wrap is ahead. We're getting ready for Padres and Diamondbacks. I don't know if the ball will be traveling tonight. There were a couple of balls hit last night that I thought off the bat were gone.
Toddy's
wrong.
ball in the ninth there.
Oh, he scorched the ball. He honestly
just missed
scorched the ball. So it's 60 degrees. It's overcast. There's marine layer, and the Padres are riding a 5-game losing streak. And I know this. They'll have to score tonight. They will have to score, even though Michael King's been pretty good.
They'll have to score more than 3 runs, I think, John.
You think they need to score more than 3 tonight?
Yeah, I think they're going to have to score more than 3 runs tonight for sure.
Wow.
And
Arizona's
also,
going to be busting out the bats.
Also, probably good idea to limit the amount of home runs the opposing team continues to hit versus.
You think that could be a key?
Yeah, I know Schulte will use the. We played really good baseball. We've out hit teams during every day.
But you hit singles.
You hit singles. The other team hits home runs.
You looked it up. The last 3-run home run or better, aka grand slam, 3 or 4-run home run, was May 1st.
May 1st.
You weren't married.
I was not married at the time.
The price of gas was like 10 cents cheaper. Like a lot's happened since May 1st. It's been 40 days or 35 days since May 1st.
This team has no pop. None.
They got needs.
And Toddy's heating up right now.
Oh, he's red hot. Just hasn't hit a lot of home runs.
But he has not hit a lot of home runs.
No, he hasn't.
How many of his 8 straight hits were all, were extra base hits the last couple games? A couple. I think he had a double in there. But again, this team does not hit for power. They rely on moving the line every single game pretty much.
Yeah, it's hard to do.
It's hard to you're right. It's hard to maintain that and be a team that scores consistently 4 or 5 runs a game.
All right, speaking of Jaden Ledee, San Diego State's star, right? Last year leads them to a Sweet 16, was an All-American, was truly brilliant a year ago for San Diego State. So he worked out with your Warriors yesterday. And what I like about the Warriors isn't Steph Curry or Klay Thompson or Draymond Green or Steve Kerr if he's still the head coach or all the championships. I like that they make the players that they bring in for workouts available to the media. So I joined a Zoom call yesterday.
Of course you did.
And I learned that Jaden, in addition to working out yesterday with the Warriors, has worked out with the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Phoenix Suns, and the Brooklyn Nets. And next week he'll work out with the Chicago Bulls, among potentially other teams. He also yesterday, in speaking with the media, had this to say about his time at San Diego State.
I mean, my time at San Diego State was, unbelievable. It's truly a blessing. And I like to say, third time was a charm for me. So, the memories I made there and the people I connected with, wouldn't give that up for anything. And Coach Dunison, he couldn't ask for, a better coach. Not just a coach, just a great mentor and got off the court. And that's one of the things I really, people see him as a great coach, but he's just an even better person.
Will he hear his name called on, I think it's June 26th and 27th? They split it up. Second round is the next day.
Yeah.
So
now they do that, right?
Yeah, first year this year. So will he hear his name called? And does that even matter? Because if you don't hear your name called, maybe you end up in a better spot as a free agent. What do you think happens?
I would be utterly shocked if he is not taken in the first or second round.
Okay, you'd be shocked if he wasn't drafted. Okay. If
he wasn't drafted.
Okay.
And if Bronny's drafted ahead of him.
That's an interesting point.
That should be a rap question. Who gets drafted first, Jalen D or Bronny James?
Well, we're talking about it now, but I can put it in if you don't want to talk about it.
We'll put that in for maybe
Okay.
a rap. But I mean, this guy has the NBA body. He is a guy that can hit the mid-range. He is a rebound machine. I think the only thing that maybe scares teams is, one, his age, and two, he's not great defensively, and he doesn't live above the rim. He's not a guy that is like Keyshawn Johnson, who is super athletic, uber athletic, and can translate pretty well to the NBA game. Jade's not that guy. He's not. He'll bully you down low, but the things that I think teams are looking at as the issue are like what I said: his age and his defense, and maybe a little bit of his athleticism.
He answered the age question yesterday with the media and said that, yeah, well, true, I'm not a 19-year-old. I'm also a grown man. I don't need to develop from a 19-year-old to a 22-year-old.
I'm ready, dude. I'm ready to go.
I'm not growing into my body. This is my body. I need no adjustment to play right now in the NBA. And yes, it's true. He's older than a number of draft-eligible players, but are you worried about 5 seasons from now? Or could you use him for the next 5 seasons as a 25 through 29-year-old and beyond? So I'm intrigued. I'm excited. I think he gets a shot, and I do think he's going to earn an opportunity in the NBA this upcoming season. I just think he's too good to not get a chance. Everything we saw with our own 2 eyes was real. There was no mirage with Jaden Ledee. This wasn't some soft 20-10. What does that even mean? I mean, this was beyond that. He did a little bit of everything for San Diego State over the last 2 years, specifically this last season, where at times he kind of put the team on his back and led them to win after win after win, including in the NCAA tournament. He had a huge first half against the University of Connecticut last year in the Sweet 16. Had to score 15 points, maybe 14 or 15 points in the first half against UConn. So we'll see. I'm excited. Jaden Ledee, will he get drafted or not? We'll talk about it on the other side with the wrap. Also, Kevin Acee, our Padres insider, he joins us at 4:30. The Padres have lost 5 straight.
Everything's fine, though, John.
Yeah, is it as bad as it seems or not? Kevin will join us. The latest on Manny Machado. Will he stay off the IL or not? Kevin Acee, our Padres insider, at 4:30. Hour 2 of Jon and Jim is next.
All right, this update's brought to you by the California Department of Public Health. Padres and D-backs, game 2 of their 4-game series. Later tonight at Petco Park, 6:40 first pitch. Padres trying to snap a 5-game losing streak. They're now 2 games under 500 on the year. Fun fact, they have the exact same record right now as they did last year at 32-34. Manny Machado out of the lineup again tonight. Mike Schilt speaking to the media moments ago saying there's still a chance Manny Machado could land on the IL. Decision likely by Sunday or Monday. But if he hits in one of these games, John, it continues to push back his retroactiveness to the IL. And the NBA Finals last night, Game 1 finally happened. The Boston Celtics took Game 1 from the Dallas Mavericks. They lead the series 1-0. Game 2 in Boston, 5 p.m. tip-off time on Sunday night. What does it take to take on Alzheimer's? Courage to learn the facts and know the signs, and confidence to talk to your healthcare provider about screening and early detection. Find out how you can take on Alzheimer's at takeonalz.com.
The 4-game series continues tonight at Petco. After a rough Game 1, we're out at Naughty Barrel with the Friar faithful looking to get the fellas back on track for the weekend. Plus, the NBA Finals continue, and the Triple Crown continues with the Belmont Stakes. Now, live from Naughty Barrel, it's Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 2 of Jon and Jim. We're getting you ready for the Belmont Stakes.
Yeah, we'll talk about it soon.
Sierra Leone remains the favorite to win tomorrow on Long Island at 9-5. Better than 2-1. Mind Frame, of course. The great Mind Frame is 7-2.
Yes.
What a horse that is. That thing will run.
Yeah.
It just goes.
Yeah,
now, Mystic Dan is 5-1, which surprised me a little bit.
I am surprised
the
by
way
that.
he's been playing.
That's a very surprising line.
He's been running really well.
He's been running really well. I thought he'd be favored, more heavy favorite in this one. But again, we'll break down the Belmont Stakes
It's
later.
601.
Yeah, later in the show. So stay tuned for that.
I kind of like Seize the Great 8-1.
What's your favorite? Let me look at these names here.
I think
No. Again,
no,
stay,
we'll break it down. Stay
6
tuned.
PM. Stay tuned. We are going to break it down because Big Voice Guy says it's part of our show.
You heard it here first,
Yeah.
Brent. Mark this for Monday. Seize the Gray, your 2024 Belmont champion.
The Belmont
to complete
Stakes.
the Triple Crown, the Belmont Stakes Saturday. We've got you covered as well for Padres and D-backs.
Yeah.
Game 2 of a 4-game series is coming up tonight at 6:40 down at Petco. There's an update.
Yeah,
on Manny Machado.
What do you make of that?
So, well, let's share it with our listeners. Marty Caswell down at Petco Park says that Mike Schilt believes there's still a chance Manny Machado could land on the IL with a decision likely by Sunday or Monday. The reason they can wait on it is they used him yesterday, which means they can retroactively return him to the IL as late as today. They can wait a couple of days and retroactively return the IL stint to today. So they used him yesterday. They have a couple of days now to see how he responds, if he's going to play or not, and if he's going to go on the IL. I stick by what I said last night and yesterday before I knew he was going to pinch hit. I would be shocked, floored, jaw-dropping decision if Manny Machado goes on the IL. I still feel like that today.
What if they use him again for another pinch hit spot?
They can.
Well, guess what?
They're just pushing it back.
They're pushing the IL stint back.
Yeah, they can. It's not the end. I don't think it's the end of the world, but yeah, they've already pushed it back.
Not the end of the world, but then
well, at that point, I don't think he's going on the IL. It's also the point.
That's just.
Do you think he pinch hits tonight?
I mean, if there's an opportunity like last night, I think he's going to want to take the bat.
Yeah.
Is he going to get it past the pitcher's mound tonight?
Well, that's a good question, Brent. I don't know. And if he did get it past the pitcher's mound,
can he
move to first base? Because, I mean, he told me, or not told me, but he told the media.
Did you talk to him today?
I did not talk to Manny Machado. I'm not bed down there. He told the media, like, hey, I can't run. Or at least Mike Schilt said that he can't run.
Oh, yeah. Schilt laughed it off. He's like, oh, no. We had a plan. We were going to use, what do you say, sugar or something?
So how easy to get to first base if you can't run, Mike?
He was going to
hit it really far.
Like crawl.
I don't know.
Do you think he goes on the IL or not?
Certain players make their own rules here, and Manny Machado is definitely one of those players. And
so do you think he goes on or not?
No.
No way, right?
No.
There's no way Manny Machado's going on the IL unless he broke something.
If Manny's in the outfield right now doing little jogs and working out.
Is that what he's doing? I didn't watch the video. There's a video here. He's working out.
He's working out, doing little drills. He's not going on the IL because no one's telling Manny to go on the IL if Manny's taking a pinch hit at bat last night.
I just don't envision it. The fact that here's another thing. You're right. They're saying it could happen. What are the odds? 1 in 100, 1 in 1,000? That it actually
the odds are
happens?
not great.
Yeah, like I don't see how it's. He said last night, Manny Machado did, that he actually felt half decent and he missed a pitch. There was a 2-1 pitch he felt good about that he missed. That was his pitch, he said.
He missed it by a lot.
He did. Yeah, absolutely. Now, again, I go back to, I didn't fault it. It's like you got Kyle Higashioka in the batter's box. He'd homered earlier, but you got Manny Machado in a 1-run game.
A 50% Manny Machado is better than that.
That's what I think they're thinking.
But also, too, the other day, when was it? Monday? Yeah, it was Monday.
Okay.
And Luis Ariz was out of the lineup.
Right.
And there was a pinch hitting spot, or at least there was a spot late in that game.
They didn't use him.
Yeah,
because he might have been like, dude, you don't use me. I'm like dead.
Well,
remember, because the next day he was like wincing.
But he was in the lineup the next day.
Yeah, he took a day off.
Manny's not in the lineup the next day here.
Right.
So that signals to me, like, you're not close, bro.
Yeah, but he's a gamer.
That's great. I want, like, not a 50% Manny Machado at the plate.
So you would have preferred the alternative?
Look, Schulte is going to bow down to Manny's, like, altar. Like, whatever Manny wants to do, he's going to be doing it. And
is there a manager in baseball that's not batting Manny if he says, "Give me, I'm good"?
Well, if probably not. I don't know, because Manny's interesting individual. Like, no one can tell him otherwise. I think that if you had a more respected manager, be like, yo, bro, you're not gonna take a chance.
We're good.
We're good. I really
appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Like, trust me.
We got to get you healthy.
We got to get you healthy first. What if you went up there? Because we always talk about both sides. What if Manny went up there and he swings, misses a pitch so badly, and he gets even more hurt? Or, like, say he hits a dribbler up the third base line
and can't get to first.
And he can't get to first base. Or even if him jogging to first or pushing it a little bit to go to first, he hurts himself even more.
Or imagine he hits the ball to right.
Then
thrown out
you know what we're doing today? We are destroying.
Yeah, but
Mike
guess
Schultz.
what we're also doing? Guess what we're also doing? If Manny, we watch on Padres.tv, we watch Manny come up to Schilt, and Schilt put his arm on Manny and say, like, thank you, we're good. We've also then watched Mike Schilt lose Manny Machado for forever.
Probably. Yeah, you're right. Well, that's also the problem with this whole thing.
So what choice do you have if you're Mike Schilt?
Well, that's where the problem lies, John.
Because you're dead to Manny if that happened.
Yep, I know. You tell Manny no.
Yeah, like no, Manny, go back down. No.
You tell Manny no in this organization, you got a problem, buddy. You have a problem, especially if he does not fully, like, have 100% respect for you.
Yeah, and that's why I think they were kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't. I mean, was it going to be Kirk Gibson 88?
Probably not.
By bad
It had a chance. It did have a chance to be a massive moment for this club if Manny came through there.
Was there a runner at second?
There was.
Yeah. So you got to do it. You have to do it. Like, it's Manny Machado. He puts the ball in the outfield. You look like a hero. It didn't happen. He hit the ball 2 feet, to Brent's point.
Didn't happen. I'm just saying that, like, that's a risky play there because there's a lot of factors that go into it.
Again, 4-game losing streak. When we talk about risk, like, they're like, hey, throw everything at it.
Again, who's I don't know who's in charge. Who's managing this team? Who's in charge here?
Mike Schilt is managing. AJ Preller's the GM, and Manny Machado is the leader, or like the true captain.
Yeah.
All right, Kevin Acee. We can talk to Kevin about it. He'll join us, our Padres Insider, at 4:30. We're here until 6 p.m. Get to the Naughty Barrel, 9th and Market. Great food and drinks. We're outside. Great spot to watch Padres D-backs, even if you don't have tickets. Kick off your weekend right here at the Naughty Barrel. We're two blocks from Petco Park right now. Let's get to those.
Do you think Dan Hurley would make the Lakers a better team?
Does Dan Hurley shoot threes? Does Dan Hurley play defense?
No, but he'll tell them to.
The team. Oh yeah, that'll work out well for if he brings the same attitude or fieriness to the NBA and LeBron James for not hustling back on defense, or like LeBron James sitting there blaming everybody else on defense when he blows an assignment. Dan Hurley, while he might be become a good NBA head coach whenever that is, like, I'm sorry, the players kind of matter more here, and your team isn't that great. You're like at best the 7 or 6 seed. So I'm gonna say no.
I'll say yes, but to what extent? Probably not anything of great impact. Like, I don't think they go from a 7 seed, to Jim's point, to a 2 seed. I don't think they go from a first-round team in the NBA playoffs to a Western Conference Finals. But I think you can make him better. I mean, he is regarded as one of the top minds in basketball right now. Now, he would have to prove in the NBA. You're 100% right. But at some point, he will be a head coach in the NBA. It may not be right now. And we'll see what his true impact is. But he's 51 years of age. He's won at a very high level, at the highest, level of Division I. So I think he can make him better. I don't think they're going to win the NBA Finals with him next year.
Again, does he shoot threes for the team? Does he play
No,
defense?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Next question.
What's your level of confidence the Padres will be a playoff team this year?
The only reason why I say decent is not because of what the Padres I think potentially could do. It's about what's around them, which is not a big endorsement for them. It's more of a indictment on the rest of the National League.
So would you put it at 50-50, 51-49, or 49-51?
I would put it at 51-49. I would give them I would put that as a better chance they'll make the postseason, not because of what they.
But just the circumstances that surround it all,
right?
They're going to be one of the top
someone's
6.
going to have to make the playoffs in the National League. One team is going to be the 6th seed.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm not sitting here saying, the Padres are going to go out and take it. More often, here we go. More likely the Padres will be there because, 1, they're just a 500 team, and 2, everybody around them also is a 500 team.
I'm going to go with 52-48.
Okay.
I'm slightly
Why are you
more confident than 51-49. But I don't think, and I've said this over the last 24 hours, I don't think they, quote-unquote, stumble into it. I actually think they have to fall forward into it, which means get some health breaks, acquire maybe some starting pitching, because I don't think they'll get in with a 485 winning percentage, which is what they have right now, 32 and 34. They're going to have to win 82, 83 games, and there's still some work for them to be done to get to 82 or 83 wins. Plus, I believe, look at this, 5 teams are within 1 game of them behind them.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, St. Louis, San Francisco, Cincinnati, Arizona. Do I truly believe none of those teams will play good baseball? One of those teams will play well.
I think will.
It's inevitable. I think they have to fall forward to make the postseason.
Do you want to hear this crazy stat?
Yes.
From Optus Stats on Twitter/X.
Yeah.
There are 15 teams in the National League.
Oh, it's amazing.
There are. You didn't know that?
That's crazy.
Of those 15 teams, John, I just stopped there. There's 15 teams in the National League.
Whoa.
Look at that stat.
That's awesome.
Of those 15, 11 are currently below 500, 73.3%. That's the highest percentage of a league's teams having a losing record at the end of any single day since July 26, 1976. When 9 of the AL's 12 teams were below 500.
Can I ask a question?
No.
How is it even possible in what year? 76, that 3/4 of a league was under 500 when there wasn't an interleague play? The league was just playing each other. So you had 3 teams that were 50-5, and all the other teams sucked, I guess?
This is the highest percentage for the NL since July 28th, 1958.
Wow.
6 of 8. Back then,
wow,
75%.
So what we're saying is the National League isn't very good.
They're not good, and to our confidence level,
yeah, that's why we're 51.5%.
I'm more confident in the National League continuing to suck than I am confident in the Padres ripping off an 89 win season.
No, I think they need to get to that big 82, 83 number because someone's going to play well behind
a big 82 and 83 number.
Get to 82. Next question.
Will the NBA Finals go 6 games or more?
So I might have been wrong on this one, John.
Last time was bad.
I might have been wrong on this. With Kristaps Porzingis in there, he's the ultimate
changer.
He's the ultimate X factor, and he played fantastic last night. Dallas has nobody to stop or guard him at all. Luka could get 35 points.
Won't matter.
Boston is still going to win this series. I mean, unless Kyrie steps up. Kyrie had a horrible game last night. I think he had 12 points. Yeah, I don't know if this goes 6.
Here's the thing. Let's see what happens in Dallas, because even if they go down 2-0, maybe Dallas looks completely different at home. If you just do a home serve situation, then the thing ends in 7. So I think it could go 6, even with what happened last night. I wouldn't be shocked if Dallas was able to win a couple of games at home.
But don't you agree that like it felt kind
It
of
sucked
like
because I turned it on like in the second half. Now Brent made a point. They pulled to
Cut it to
10, but then it was like immediately 24.
Yeah, I know you can laugh at cut it to 8, but when they were down 31, cutting it to 8's a pretty big deal.
I had it on it wasn't very entertaining.
No.
I'm with you. Yes, for a moment,
like,
but not much more than that.
because then they bumped the lead right back up to like 15.
Yeah, no, as soon as they gave me hope they're going to make a game out of it, then they didn't.
Game 1 ratings, by the way, as low as they've been in a long time,
which is kind of surprising.
But it was the 10 days plus the bad game.
That's where
the 10 days plus the bad game.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
if it was a good game, they would have been higher. If it was a good game,
more people turning in.
Yeah. Next question.
Who gets drafted first, Keyshawn Johnson or Jaden Ledee?
See what I did there?
You twisted it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I am going to go Keyshawn Johnson just because I think NBA teams will be more enamored with his athleticism, and he's younger and over Jaden Ledee, even though I might not agree with it. I think NBA teams are like, whoa, he has a how high is his vertical?
Right.
I mean, this guy jumps out the gym. I think NBA teams are more attracted to that.
I hope we hear both of their names called. My speculation would be if that occurs, it will be in the second round.
What if they go back to back?
That'd be amazing. I've seen mock drafts that have Keyshawn Johnson getting drafted like in the high 30s or mid 40s. It's been more sparingly to see Jaden Ledee's name in these mock drafts, but I do think it's a possibility. So because of what I'm just reading, and I don't know if it's going to be right or not, it takes just one team. It takes one team to believe in Jaden. It takes one team to believe in Keyshawn Johnson. But I'm leaning with you based on what I'm reading and seeing. I think Keyshawn has probably a better chance of going before Jaden Ledee. I do think one of them is getting drafted. I'd be surprised if both of those players did not get drafted. So we'll see. That's coming up. But it's so weird how the final game of the NBA Finals could be as late. I think Brent mentioned this on the show previously. Like, didn't you say, Brent, June 23rd could be the last day of the finals? Something like that.
Something like that. I'll look it up quick.
Yeah, June 22nd, June 23rd. The draft is June 26th. It's so weird to me that like Boston and Dallas can play June 23rd.
Yeah.
And 3 days later, like, oh, let's go draft for next year. Like, it's not a lot of time. I mean, it's
Game 7 would be on the 23rd.
Game 7, 23rd, and the first round of the NBA draft is the 26th.
Yeah.
3 days later.
That's fine.
NFL, we got like 3 months. We got combines. We got
they got to get this thing right. They got to make sure they take any advantage they can to be relevant, because right now the NFL is saying,
that's true.
Yeah, go sit down, little kid there. Like, you're done. We're taking over.
You know what's weird? You saw this, I'm sure, on social media. The round 2 of the NBA draft start time is like 4 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
On a weekday on ESPN2.
Yeah, that's smart.
So the second round is at 1 o'clock San Diego time or West Coast time. It's just weird to me. Like, that's the best you could do with your start time.
Well, it's also smart to get rid of your number 1 draw, which is TNT and Inside the NBA, and be like completely okay with it.
3 times the money.
Well, that's on the TNT side. That's their fault.
Yeah, exactly.
But also the
NBA is fine.
Also, the NBA should realize that the TNT crew and the Inside the NBA crew are the best TV crew,
it'll be
pre and post.
It'll be
in all sports.
Don't you think they'll find a way? Even if TNT loses the rights, I know Ernie has said he's contract, he's not going to. They'll find a way where you can work for both Turner and I'm making up NBC, Turner and whomever. We'll see. I'd be surprised if the show went away.
If that show goes away,
then the NBA is done. Here's the other thing.
We're already not in a great spot.
Adam Silver said yesterday before the game, the league will turn its attention to expansion. No guarantee of it, but the league will turn its attention to adding 2 teams. Now, he recognized the dilution of players because you're adding 2 teams. So
let me stop you before you continue.
Yeah, I'm going to say it.
No.
I'm going to say it. Seattle and Vegas.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, Seattle and Vegas. There you go.
No, say the other. I thought you were going to bring up San Diego. We had it in the notes.
No, I was going to stop you from saying San Diego because
what are you
that's
talking about? What are you talking about? Are you looking around this gorgeous city?
Yeah.
You don't think San Diego could have an NBA team, Jim?
Oh, see that arena? Oh, wait, no, that's not it.
Yeah,
see the
downtown arena right by Petco?
Where's the arena?
Why can't they play outside? It's San Diego.
The parking lot over there?
Petco.
Oh, Petco?
Yeah, they've had games before.
They should.
San Diego State played downtown.
That wasn't like a complete
They
disaster.
could play an aircraft carrier.
Yes.
For 41 games.
I like that.
The weather's always perfect.
Who cares if it rains
It's never windy.
No. The ball is not going to like change directions in the air.
Free throw precision 9%. So you're saying don't even
No.
entertain it.
Stop.
The Stan Kroenke?
No. There's come on.
Seattle.
This town can't get anything done. Okay, so the
Snapdragon.
that's different.
It's a 35,000 seat stadium. We're just looking for an arena.
That's different. And
Yes,
the arena
I mean-
part, the arena part of this whole equation would take like
A decade.
we'll be
More?
dead. I mean, the Earth will be destroyed.
It'll be swallowed by the sun.
Yeah, in a billion years. When I
But-
said the Earth won't
But
be
could
here.
we get a team then?
What happens first? The Earth
Earth
explodes, or we get an arena in San Diego for an expansion NBA team. I go with the Earth exploding.
Okay, so
We could go Field of Dreams and build our own arena in the desert before they would
Before it
actually
happens?
build
Well,
one.
Okay,
Yeah.
so would you be led to believe Seattle, Vegas, or do you have a wild card anywhere? Is there a city?
Well, first off-
Dusseldorf.
Whoa.
The mic levels are a little hot.
Dusseldorf. Interesting.
That's you know
Because
what
they
that
want to
is?
go international. That's a place
Yeah,
in
Germany.
Germany, Jim.
Oh, sorry.
Maybe
My-
Switzerland.
I should really
Lake Como.
catch up on my Switzerland and Italy.
Lake Como Hawks.
Exactly. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, Seattle makes perfect sense, and Las Vegas because I don't know, they already have a freaking arena.
So you don't have a wild card.
I don't have a wild card.
Okay, my wild card, I'm going to give you 3 cities. In addition to San Diego, which is my preference, even though it would have to be on an aircraft carrier.
Yes, we all want a
Okay.
professional team here,
But-
but it's not happening.
Okay, this is off the cuff.
Okay.
Let me give you I got 5.
5.
I got 5. I need a countdown. Number 5.
Number 5.
Mexico City.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
Okay, that's fine. Number 4.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Nashville.
Number 4.
Does Nashville have a team?
No, John.
But Memphis does.
Memphis does, yeah. So that's
Yeah,
probably
maybe
not
that's not
going to
gonna
happen. Yeah.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Pittsburgh.
Do they have an arena? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, that's right.
they
They
have the
do. Yeah,
Penguins.
Penguins.
All right, another whatever.
Number 2.
2.
Number 2, Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay.
And my number 1, let me hear number 1.
Will Eric Hosmer be an all-star this season?
I like that.
What?
Brian, are you okay back there?
That was the number 1 drop.
No,
huh?
allegedly that's attached to the number 1 drop for some reason.
My
Don't remember
number
why.
1,
That was from like 7 years ago.
My will Eric Hosmer be an all-star this season?
my number 1,
Number 1.
Kansas City,
Okay.
because they have an arena, but they don't have an NBA.
Seattle
team.
and Vegas first.
Yeah, we'll see. It probably will be. I think San Diego.
Because especially what the NBA did. I mean,
Or 2 teams here, 2 expansion spots, 2 teams.
they should put 2 teams in San Diego.
Yeah,
you're right.
exactly,
Yeah.
like LA.
One can play.
No, same building, like Clippers and Lakers for all these years.
They can play at the new 5,000 seat arena in Oceanside.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah,
For
there
the
you
San
go.
Diego Clippers.
Kevin Acee's our Padres insider. He joins us next. Kevin Acee is our Padres insider. The latest on Manny Machado and Joe Musgrove is next.
This update is brought to you by the California Department of Public Health. Padres D-backs, game 2 of their 4-game series tonight at Petco Park. 6:40 first pitch. Michael King on the mound for the Padres. Padres are trying to end their 5-game losing streak. Manny Machado, once again, not in the lineup today. Moving over to the NBA, game 1 of the NBA Finals last night. Boston all over Dallas to take a 1-0 series lead. Game 2, Sunday night in Boston. What does it take? Take on Alzheimer's, courage to learn the facts and know the signs, and confidence to talk to your healthcare provider about screening and early detection. Find out how you can take on Alzheimer's at takeonalz.com.
All right, let's get right to it with our Padres insider. Padres have lost 5 straight. They'll have another crack at it tonight, game 2 of a 4-game series against Arizona at Petco Park at 6:40. We're with you until 6 p.m. And, Kevin, we always appreciate you hopping on these Fridays on Jon and Jim. Let's just start with Manny Machado. What is the latest in terms of Machado's health and whether he will or won't eventually be put on the IL?
I think last night was a sign that he wouldn't, but I will say this. I've been very surprised.
And snipered. I'd be very surprised. That's it.
It was about to be like the biggest
I know.
moment.
I'd be very surprised. Surprised about what, Kevin?
Brent, didn't this happen last time?
Probably, yeah. I'm going to have to just call Kevin on this one and just hope his phone works.
Yeah, that might be the better
option.
I'm
surprised this is the first time we've had problems with this, though. Because every time I talk to Kevin, it's been fine.
It must be me.
It's probably you.
I think it was with me and Coach. This happened.
Oh, really?
2 weeks ago.
Maybe it's Naughty Barrel. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe his phone just said, I'm done. Enough.
All right, play the outro.
That was good. Great interview. Thanks for Kevin. I'd be surprised. It's
good.
That's good. That's all we needed.
I think that's why Padres fans routinely come here. Routinely come here.
Yeah, for that
for
type
this
of
type
stuff.
of insight.
Yeah. Just give him a call, Brent.
All right, that was good.
That was good. I liked it.
So we were going to ask you about Machado's health, Musgrove's health. trade market, what they're looking for. He's reported about them being interested in starting pitching as well. 5-game losing streak.
Thought process.
Shilty,
bunting.
Buntgate.
Buntgate. There's a lot there.
But that's okay.
We don't need
them.
We don't need to know if
It's
Kevin's coming back
year.
on. It's fine.
It's a long year.
It's okay.
Is anyone really worried about Manny? Joe?
Not worried at all.
Big deal.
No one. Hey, John.
It's fine.
Hey, if the season ends
all
today, they'd be the postseason.
Kevin, we lost you, as you know. We appreciate you.
I'm really sorry, but I got to tell
happens.
you that I am kind of grateful. This hasn't happened on the other shows, and it keeps happening on yours. But thank you for being understanding, because it would throw the morning show. They wouldn't even know what to do. Like, they would just lose their mind.
Know.
And of course, Darren would not be kind about it at all. So
honestly, we're cool with it.
It's actually John's fault, because every time that I've talked to you, Kevin,
it's been fine.
It's been totally fine.
Okay, so now let's get to it. So Manny Machado, we lost you right away. What is the latest, Kevin?
You lost me right away. Here I am talking to myself. It was practice. Manny. The fact that he plays, the fact that would reset the IL, that they allowed him to go out there, that suggests that he's not going to. In addition to what they're saying, it suggests that no, he's not going to. Plus, they have shown in the past, yes, finally he did go on the IL a couple times in the last couple of years, as a matter of fact. But think about all the times that he hasn't gone, where they've let him sit out 3, 4, 5 games. Whereas a lot of players, you would have gone on the IL if you're going to miss that much time. So I don't think so. But the fact is, I don't think anybody expects him back, maybe even this weekend in terms of being able to start. He cannot run right now.
So I guess if any other player had this injury, would you say it's an IL stint? But because it's Manny, the Manny rules, and Manny just not wanting to go on the IL is the reason why he's not going on the IL.
For the same reason they brought him in last night, right? It's Manny, and there's the potential that he could come off the bench in a situation like that and actually come through, and that you would feel better that it were Manny. And you can argue obviously this year maybe not so much, but he was heating up, and he is Manny Machado, and it's always been that way. It's on that way on some other teams too, where if a star player it is possible is going to be able to help you, and he's not going to hurt himself by being able to somehow contribute before the 15 days, then, so yes, the answer is it's partially because it's Manny, but I don't think it's anything like Manny's dictating. Does Manny have a lot to say? Manny has a lot to say. He does, but he's got history on his side, and they have sort of, I don't want to say reined that in, but they have put him on the IL a couple times in the past year.
So they're going to be content for the rest of this series to play with a man down.
Well, I don't. Who are you going to bring up? That's the other thing, right? Like if Manny can come off the bench and hit for you, isn't that what you would bring Brett Sullivan up for? Or and then if Manny, you think Manny's going to be available Tuesday, then why are you putting him on the IL? So they must believe that. And so, like I said, the fact that he hit last night, did it look good? No. Can we say that he wouldn't have missed those 2 pitches if he were healthy? I can't say that. They felt like he was okay to hit.
Did you envision, Kevin? We can move on from this, but did you see a scenario where he would hit?
Jim loves to talk about this injury.
Yeah, he does. Here's my question though. This is a serious
big deal.
Here's a theoretical for you, Kevin. Seriously, because I was thinking about it in real time. Like, what if he hit the ball sharply to right and was thrown out? Or let's say had a little dribbler that everyone else would have been safe on, but he couldn't effectively run. Do you think that was at all part of the equation? Because they said they had a plan if he reached. They were going to obviously pinch run for him. I wonder how concerned they were with his ability just to get to first base.
Yeah, you're hoping that there's a ball in the gap, or that it's the left field, or that it's not 112 balls to right, which I don't think it would be. But yeah, that would have been the all timer, right? Oh, you got a hit, and everybody came around the. Oh, yeah, that would have that would have been even more Padres than if what's his name had. The kid who hit the home run in the 9th last and almost hit another one in Kansas City, and they came within 2 feet of losing that game. Manny getting a single to right and it not winning the game last night would have been, that would have been something.
Moving over to Joe Musgrove, who, look, it's concerning to say the least. And then hearing Joe speak about it, I feel like it makes it more concerning. what's the likelihood that this is the timetable that he's giving us, that he returns, and he returns this year healthy?
I think that it's 50-50 whether it's July. Well, can't go 50-50 and say give you 3 options, but I would say that I don't have, and I don't know that they have, any real confidence that one of 3 options will or will not happen. And that is that, hey, beginning of July, maybe. Beginning of August, maybe. Arthroscopic surgery, and maybe he can be back for the playoffs, maybe. That's like, I don't know. I don't know. What I will say that Joe did leave out yesterday was he has dealt with it before. So, and the course of treatment that he took last time, which was some time off, that you can second guess now for sure. That has worked before. He's pitched through this before. Now, maybe you're getting older, wiser, and some different things need to be done. But the fact that we can sit here and second guess doesn't mean, like, we shouldn't do that without the context of Joe has dealt with this before and not missed any time, or like missed the start. And this time that's not the case. And maybe that's because the Spurs, got worse. He's had these Spurs for a while. So maybe that's because the Spurs got worse and this was a different case. And maybe they should have, I don't know. Maybe they should have got the imaging last time. I don't know that answer. I don't. But I will say this. Joe has dealt with this before. It just happens to be worse this time.
And because Joe has dealt with this before, was that a reason why he threw as soon as he did when he went in the aisle last time?
Yes. That's
okay.
It was very much the, hey, I've done this. It's all good. I could have pitched, but you know what? A couple of days off or 4 days off, give me some PRP injection and I'll be good. And it worked before and it didn't work this time.
All right, Kevin Acee is our Padres insider. He's with us right now on Jon and Jim. So knowing what we know about Musgrove, knowing that Darvish, maybe it's more precautionary and hopefully it's a shorter period of time, how active do you believe A.J. Preller is going to be in the trade market when it comes to starting pitching between now and 6-7 weeks from now?
I think from last Saturday, it was highly likely, and said that a few times that's for sure, right? Like not a for sure that it'll land someone or land someone that can give them quality innings, but absolutely, I think that he's combing the market. I know he is. So yeah, I felt like last Saturday, no matter what was going to happen in the ensuing days, and certainly I didn't know they were going to get swept in Anaheim, but I felt like last Saturday was one of those days where you might look back at it as a pivotal moment of the season. We've been through it before. You start losing guys. You lose a couple guys on the same day. Yeah. Bad.
Kevin,
I'm sorry. It's a potential to be bad.
Well, there's no question. I mean, because you have so much baseball in front of you. We saw what happened in 2021. Yep. We envisioned the 2020 postseason. Starting pitching, I mean, again, we all know how critically important it is. Let me ask you about last night specifically, because there's been a lot of discussion about one particular instance in the 8th inning. They elected to bunt with Jackson Merrill down a run. What do you make of this decision? Are people making too much of it or not? One decision in a game where they elected to bunt to move a runner over in an attempt to tie the game up with a base hit.
I think it's the smart play, but I get the questioning. But like I've seen the bunt work so much for them this year. Work in big innings. I've seen them get hits. They lead the major league in bunt hits. They have effectively used the sacrifice. You have Robert Suarez maybe for 2 innings because he's rested. I feel like it was the right move, but I absolutely understand the questioning. I feel like the bunt and bullpen moves, man. They used to say, don't talk religion and politics. Don't talk bunting and bullpen moves at Thanksgiving dinner, because you're going to have some opinions. I don't know where you guys fall on it, but the Jackson Merrill bunt, I felt like Jurickson Profar taking it on himself. While I will say that, he barely missed that being a very successful bunt. That one, I was like, why are you swinging away, Jurickson? But, hey, like I said, I've seen the bunt work for them a lot this year. I feel like it's a part of their identity.
We're on both sides of the fence. Jim's kind of anti-bunt in the 8th, and I wasn't pro, but I wasn't anti.
Well,
I understood it.
Yeah, look, I mean, you got Jurickson Profar, who I know he leads the league in bunt hits this year, but he's also your best hitter. That's to me, I understand that. But in the 8th inning, you're giving up outs and you're trying to play for a tie, but yet your messaging is we're going to be super uber aggressive.
Right.
That's where I didn't understand it.
Well, but like super duper aggressive, but like, I know they haven't shown it on the base pass so much recently, but what's Mike Schilt's thing? Aggression with intelligence. Like,
right,
so Jackson Merrill just got his first extra base hit in 94 at bats earlier in the day and hasn't been lighting the world on fire. And now one thing Jackson Merrill does is he beats out double plays. He's actually been very, some of them have played up big, but then you're just swapping a player at first base. I felt like you're getting a runner in scoring position, and I really did not have an issue with it. I do understand. I've also watched this team in the past ruin a lot of it by playing that way. But I'm telling you that the 2024 Padres, maybe I've just kind of bought in because I have seen it work so much.
That's fair. Again, that's the beauty of baseball.
And if it worked, then everything's great. So
I just looked it up. I mean, Merrill in his last 20 games is hitting 220. So, 224. But he struggled a little bit, which is to be expected. Kevin, we always appreciate it. We'll catch up again next week, and thanks for hopping on.
Thanks, Kevin.
Right on. Take care.
Let's react to that on the other side. We're here until 6, the Naughty Barrel downtown, just outside Petco Park. Padres D-backs. Game 2 coming up at 6:40. Stay with us on Jon and Jim. All right, we're going to react to our conversation with Kevin Acee, the latest on Manny Machado and Joe Musgrove. Stay with us. If you're wondering about the weather for the Belmont Stakes, chance of rain in the forecast tomorrow, Belmont. Final leg of the Triple Crown that we haven't really been discussing. Jon and Jim with you until 6 p.m. We just had Kevin Acee on the show. We're with you until 6 p.m. We are at the Naughty Barrel downtown, 9th and Market, about 2 blocks from Petco Park. If you're making your way down, join us. Whether you have tickets or not, great way to start your weekend. If you're going to the game, bring a sweatshirt again. It's your typical June gloom day. 60-something degrees, overcast, windy. I'm not expecting a 10-9 game tonight when the Padres play the Diamondbacks. The Padres have really struggled to score, whether it's here or elsewhere, during this losing streak. 5 games, 11 total runs scored, which puts more of an emphasis on Manny Machado staying on the roster or going on the IL. Because to your point, and I do agree with it, you are a man down if you're not going to play him until next Tuesday, but you keep him on the active roster.
And if you continue to pinch hit him and then say he's not ready by Monday or Tuesday, then it just delays the inevitable of him going on the IL. Like if you knew for certain 100% he'll be ready by Monday or Tuesday, that's okay. Okay. But I mean, who knows if he's going to be ready? This is a tricky situation because it's the quad and running and
what's WebMD say?
Yeah, let's just go to WebMD.
Strained hip flexor WebMD.
WebMD.
Like if it was me, how much time would it take until I can run
3 years
fully? It would take me a year.
3
You're right.
full years.
So for Manny, it might be shorter.
You might never run again, honestly. If you sprain your quad, Jon, you just did a little like jump here to come back to do a tease, and you're like, the first thing you said was, yeah, but my ankle.
Yeah, my foot.
And you like what? Semi-twisted it like 2 months ago?
How soon should I feel better?
Okay, perfect.
Depending on how severe your original hip flexor strain is, you should feel better in a week or 2.
Oh, perfect. So just like
that's WebMD. Like this is the source.
Yeah. So the actual time of an IL stand, a week or 2.
Yeah, a week or 2.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Okay. So that's why I wanted to look because seriously, let's say he is in there on Tuesday.
Tears the quad off the bone.
No, but
I'll be ready in 3 days.
When's the next time he runs? like fully, like goes first to third, fields his position,
Boy's never run his
dives
entire
for
career,
a ball.
John, so-
Well, he goes first
But
to
I'm
third.
bummed. I'm kidding.
I know, but I'm
I'm
serious. Like, when's the
kidding.
next time he like jogs? When's the next time he plays in the field?
He always jogs, though.
But not with
I'm
a hip flexor
kidding.
strain.
I'm kidding.
Last night he didn't jog. Did you see him go down to first? He walked.
That looked like a struggle.
Yeah.
I know he said he just missed the pitch, but it wasn't like he hit it to the warning track. And
Dude, if he would have hit a ball that other players would have an inside the park home run on, he would have been standing at first base.
probably. Can you imagine? At that point, I think you just got to stay at first.
Because you're safe.
Like I'm staying at first.
Yeah.
I'm not risking
scored.
it. Oh,
Yeah.
here we go.
Oh my gosh.
So
what do we have
okay,
here?
so what I ordered, thank you so much.
Wow.
What I ordered.
Take a picture of this thing.
I will take a picture of this thing.
Take a video of it.
They at the Naughty Barrel on their menu have deep fried Twinkies.
Which is incredible because the San Diego Fair is about to kick off, and I feel like that's like the deep fried.
But I
bet they
ordered
don't
some.
cost $30 at the Naughty Barrel.
No,
No,
they do not.
they don't.
Right? Should I take a bite here?
You should.
Here's you go, John.
No, I'm not touching them.
They're vegan.
I've been
dude.
watching my, you know me.
All right, here we go.
I got an Orange Theory.
Just taking a giant bite.
Look at you. Look at what is
this-
inside that.
like
Is there like
blueberries?
meat in there? Oh,
meat. What is wrong with you?
okay. So he's got
John's
ice
thinking
cream.
empanadas for some reason.
Is that ice cream or is that whipped cream? Okay, here he goes.
It's whipped cream.
He's got whipped cream. He's got. Should I videotape this? Stand by.
Whatever you want.
Oh, and just FYI, Twinkies are not vegan, Jim.
Sorry, Brent.
Okay, so here we go. Jim trying the fried Twinkie at the Naughty Barrel. How many thumbs up?
Oh my God.
Really?
It's the greatest thing I've ever had in my life.
Is that right?
It's so good. It's like it's a deep fried Twinkie with like a berry like salt. Like I don't even know what's inside of it, but it's like a
Look at that
blackberry
Look at that thing.
jam with some whipped cream, some powdered sugar, and then a Twinkie. I mean, come on. That's why you need to come down to the Naughty Barrel.
That's right.
It's for the deep
Forget about
fried
the Padres.
Yeah, it's for Padres. Deep fried Twinkies at the Naughty Barrel. That is a must order. Oh my God. That is so good.
They'll make you forget all about the Padres losing 5
They
in a row.
literally will.
There's no losing streak here.
This is all winning streaks.
This is winning.
This is what winning
Maybe
looks
this
like.
bucks the trend. Maybe this turns the season around.
What did you say?
Turning point. I said bucks the trend.
Okay, I know. You're professional.
On the other side, hour 3, Jon and Jim, an update on Jim's fried Twinkie, plus getting you ready for Padres and D-backs. Jim's back page is still ahead. It's hour 3. We're at the Naughty Barrel. Come down and join us. Stay with us on Jon and Jim.
All right, this update is brought to you by the California Department of Public Health. Padres D-backs game 2 of their 4-game series tonight at Petco Park. 6:40 first pitch. Manny Machado, once again, not in the lineup for the Padres. It's being reported that he may make a return as early as Tuesday. IL is still up in the air. And the NBA Finals last night finally got underway. Game 1 went to the Boston Celtics. They lead the series 1-0. Game 2 will be Sunday night in Boston, 5 p.m. tip-off time, Celtics and Mavericks. What does it take? Take on Alzheimer's, courage to learn the facts and know the signs, and confidence to talk to your healthcare provider about screenings and early detection. Find out how you can take on Alzheimer's at takeonalz.com.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? Final hour of Jon and Jim on this June gloom Friday afternoon. Padres D-backs coming up at 6:40. Of course, we have one eye on Petco, the other on Saratoga Racetrack.
Yeah.
For the Belmont Stakes.
Really, we are we're going to talk about it.
We're
promise.
going to.
We're going to talk about it.
And by the way, I'm not the only one that likes Seize the Gray at 8-1. I'm seeing some people that are in on Seize the Gray, and with the gray weather,
I
Seize
love
the Gray.
It's
Market,
like
Brent.
Play on words. There
Seize
we
the
go.
Gray,
Seize the
8-1. I'm feeling good.
They needed a horse named Marine Layer.
Yes, I love that.
Do you want to buy a horse and name him Marine Layer?
Not necessarily.
No,
No,
horses
not
are
really.
super expensive. We used to
Where am I
have
going
them.
to keep them?
In your backyard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, Leah, Darren's wife, has horses.
Oh, great. Then I'll just, hey, Lee, you want another?
Yeah, exactly.
Here's some hay. And here's a box of food. What do you
mean?
feed it? Fried Twinkies?
I mean, maybe.
You
By the way,
could.
those fried Twinkies.
Jim ate all. Now, Manny had a piece. I mean, Manny had one bite.
Yeah.
There were two
Hold on, there's one
full
more bite
fried
I
Twinkies.
got to eat one more. Here we go.
Jim, who weighs I don't know what you weigh.
$1.80.
$1.80, but doesn't really eat full meals, just ate 2 full fried Twinkies. But it's post-wedding, so you don't need to fit into a tux or even a dress.
That was so good.
Has Aaron?
Yeah, you're already married. It doesn't matter
Yeah,
if you're
so
fat
Aaron
now.
was on the.
She's stuck with you.
I stopped by the house
right?
like a month ago.
Yeah.
And I brought them donuts, and
Yeah.
Aaron wants to kill me.
Happy National Donut Day, by the way.
Exactly. But is Aaron now eating food again or not?
She's eating food again.
Because to get ready for the wedding, she wasn't really eating like donuts.
No, she was eating.
Okay.
But
She
she
ate
was
Taco Bell at the wedding, remember?
yeah,
After the wedding.
after the wedding.
Yeah.
She was eating very clean, and she was not eating any cookies or dessert or chocolate or anything.
What about now?
Oh, now she'll down a cookie. But she's also
Are you going to order another fried Twinkie and bring it home?
No, I will not do that. Aaron's going to the game tonight.
With? So you're going?
I'm not going.
Wait, a week into marriage, Aaron's going to the game with who?
Her work. It's a work.
Bobby and Jeff.
Those
those two guys that played college football.
It's like that. It's like that recent tennis movie that just came out.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I do.
So wait, she's going to Petco with people from work,
Yes.
and you
yes.
didn't get the invite.
Well, John, here's the thing. I don't work at her work, so that'd be kind of hard to get an invite when it's like.
So
Yeah,
it's
but you're
not
married
plus
to her
once?
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's other women that are going tonight that have husbands that aren't going because it's a work outing.
They're all like on the email thread. They're like, "Don't tell your significant others it's no plus one."
I just met a guy named Josh at the Petco. He's a great guy.
Where are they sitting? Is this like the Sweet Life?
Oh, they're
or-
in the Sweet Life. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they're in the Sweet Life.
And are you kind of jealous?
No,
You're not. What are you gonna do? Just go home
mean,
and
a little-
watch the Padres?
Yes, I mean a little jealous. I tried to get in tonight. She tried to get me a sweet ticket.
Why don't you
but
get a credential?
We know why.
You could have emailed.
We know why, John.
Jim didn't feel like writing an essay.
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't
You
feel
could have
like.
used ChatGPT.
didn't
Hey,
feel like
write me an email.
I didn't feel like explaining myself like
In
what I was gonna
500
be
words,
doing.
explain why you like baseball.
Yeah, explain why you are covering the Padres.
Right.
Then you'll get a credential, maybe. Jeez.
I was going to try it in ChatGPT.
Yeah.
All right, Padres D-backs game 2. The Padres are the only team in baseball without a sweep. That will continue through the series because they lost game 1.
Yes.
They have had 2 5-game losing streaks.
They've been swept 3 times.
Yet Mike Schilt post-game last night, we played it in the first hour. Jim put one of the clips on his Twitter page yesterday. Read this for our listeners. What Mike Schilt said post-game following a 5th consecutive loss to fall to 32-34. This was a portion of Mike Schilt's post-game commentary.
End result wasn't there. Hasn't been there the last couple games. And we're all disappointed in it. I love this club, man. These guys show up. They're ballers, man. They get after it. We haven't won a few. It's not going to last. This club's going to be just fine. I sit here and I can tell you if I had some concern, if it was guys going through the motions, giving away at bats, preparation wasn't good, competition wasn't involved. These guys haven't given away anything. Okay.
So, is that
No.
what he's saying? Does that match the 5-game losing streak, everyone on the IL, and them having scored 11 runs in the last 5 games?
By the way, the last couple games is now a couple games 5? Like, 'cause that's what it means, 5?
Well, no, it means 5.
Okay.
I mean, the last 5 games. Why, did he say couple?
Yeah, hadn't been there in the last couple games.
Yeah. Oh, I got you. No. Couple means 2.
Okay, yeah. So
5 is couple plus 1.
Correct. Yeah. So not just a couple games, Mike.
5.
An entire week.
Closer to a half dozen.
Correct. Yes. Than not.
Right.
Look, I don't like coming on the air or the wrap-up show and always over-analyzing Mike Schilt's post-game press conference, but it's pretty simple to analyze Mike Schilt's post-game press conference.
You don't?
Hello?
Do you want him to reconnect, Brent?
Brent, can you hear us? Yeah, we got you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, you must have lost us. We heard you the whole time.
I'm gonna. How long is this?
This is a ratings play.
How long? 5 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna restart. Okay.
All right, he's gonna restart then. We'll just go real long from 5:15 to 5:40. All right, that's fine.
All right, we're gonna lose you. I'm gonna drop. All right, Brent, you got us.
Yes. Update. It's 5:30. It's now 5:30. Oh, and 703 says you guys are talking over commercials.
All right, doing things a little differently here. San Diego, this update's brought to you by the San Diego County Fair. Padres, game 2 of their series tonight versus the Diamondbacks, 6:40 first pitch. And last night, the NBA Finals, Celtics took game 1, game 2 on Sunday night. Going into the Fair, avoid the hassle of driving and the cost of parking. Save time and money with the Fair Tripper ticket. Includes a round-trip ride on the NCTD or MTS and admission to the San Diego County Fair for one low price. Visit sdfair.com for details.
All right, apologize for the technical difficulties. Naughty Barrel, downtown San Diego, overcast skies, marine layer, hashtag marine layer. Padres D-backs will play game 2 of their 4-game series tonight at 6:40. Michael King's opportunity. Jim made a really good point there. I said it for the first time in the history of the show.
Whoa.
Jim made a really good point, which is this.
Brent's like, actually, you guys are off the air now. I can't hear you. So that didn't really happen.
Exactly. The point you made
That
was
blew the
the
Transformers.
last turn through the rotation. Yeah, exactly. The last turn through the rotation, their pitching's been great. Like,
It's not been a
exceptional.
problem.
5 consecutive quality starts. They had 3 straight starts of 6+ innings, 1 or fewer runs, yet somehow they're losing all these games. So I'm trusting King. I'm trusting in the pitching, but they can't be perfect. You can't be asking them to shut everyone out. Offensively, 11 runs in 5 games for this team. So when is the offense? I don't know. Is it tonight with the gray skies and 60-degree weather? Is this the night they finally come to life? I'm not exactly crossing my fingers.
They have yet for a prolonged stretch this year, other than a handful of games, been on the same page as far as pitching well and, scoring a lot of runs. They just have 5-6 games this year, tops. And even then, Their longest winning streak, I think, is 4 games. They can't sweep anybody. So when you have the pitching that's done what it's done the last week, coupled with an anemic offense that can't hit with runners in scoring position, they can't score more than 3 runs. They have 0 pop, and you lose Manny Machado here. That's recipe for disaster. And we talked about, like, okay, with the subtractions of Musgrove for potentially a while here, and you Darvish on the IL, pitching is going to be a big issue. Well, it hasn't been an issue right now because they've been fantastic pitching-wise to the side of the rotation. As John gets massive kombucha over
let's
here.
Let's e-break the show for
Once
a second.
Again,
because,
yes.
Okay, so my friends Caroline and Chris are here, and they are loyal Padre fans to the point that they're going to a game.
He's like, oh, no.
You know what?
He's like, just X-nay on the Padre
Well, anyway,
fan,
they got me a booch. So, I mean, how does this kombucha, show up? Thank you, guys.
I got
Cheers.
the Twinkies, and you got the kombucha.
All right, he doesn't want. I want to talk about the booch.
Go for it.
Because this is potentially more interesting than the Padres 5-game losing streak right now.
Take out the word potentially.
Take out the word potentially.
Yeah.
So, what were you talking about?
I don't know. What was I talking about?
I have no idea.
Oh, yeah, the pitching staff. It's been great. The offense sucks. Plain and simple, that's how it is right now.
Yeah.
So,
but here's the thing with the offense. Because here's the crazy part about the offense. This, to me, is mind-boggling. It doesn't mean anything, but it has to mean something.
Okay.
After last night, we're doing a wrap-up show.
Yeah.
And someone randomly puts it. We're like 80 minutes into the show. We did a 92-minute show. We're 80 minutes into the show. Who knows what we're talking about? And I see in the chat, the Padres lead Major League Baseball in hitting. I go, what? Excuse me?
That's right.
So I go to Major League Baseball stats, and I just look at batting average. We understand it. We're not idiots. We get it. Batting average isn't the end-all, be-all. We know baseball's evolved since 1982. But the Padres, it is a true statement, Jim. They are tops in the big leagues in batting average at 259. They are in the top half of baseball in slug and OPS. Now, it's dipping from like 7th to 9th to 11th. I forget where they are now, 12, 13, but still top half of baseball in slug, number 1 team in batting average, yet recently anemic on offense. But they haven't been anemic on offense all year because they've had those random big innings. But those have all been based on what we've been telling people, singling teams to death, right? 5 singles in an inning, 6 singles in an inning. How often can they rely on that?
I'm trying to look up right now how many extra base hits they have as a team compared to the rest of baseball, because it doesn't feel like, and we've seen it, and it's a fact, they don't have much pop at all.
Well, would you just use slug as your qualifier or no?
No, I wouldn't.
Because a lot of singles, you're saying?
Yeah, I would not use that as just a qualifier here. Because if I'm looking at the team's success, yes, they hit 259 as a team, okay? But when I'm looking at the rest of, them compared to the rest of baseball, as far as extra base hits go, doubles, John, they are 15th in doubles. Then home runs this year as a team,
3rd, right?
They are
19th.
Yeah. Okay.
That's not surprising.
So, and then you look at their slug. If you want to just,
I think it's top 15.
They're
14th.
14th.
But that's not, again, it's not great. I'm with you. We all agree they need power. Manny Machado's hit 6 home runs. I mean, we all agree they need power, but it's not the most anemic offense in baseball.
No, it's not. But it's
like
also not even
pack.
close. It's middle of the pack, even with the best batting average as a team, which actually is a little misleading. It's a lot misleading because of how good they are on the road with their batting average compared to home.
Sure.
Home, they hit like around 220. On the road, they hit close to 300. So you average that out. That's why they lead the league in batting average. But it's misleading because they're not consistent. They're horrible at home, and they're great as far as batting average goes on the road.
So, okay, so the 30,000-foot view of the Padres, if you were like summarizing the Padres to this point, what we know about them is what? We have more negatives, unfortunately, than positives. That's the fact that they're 32 and 34. We know this. They're 7 games under 500 at home. They have not consistently hit for power. They cannot hit left-handed pitching. They're dealing with a ton of the injuries. Like, I don't know how to really, like, who is this team? As we sit here June 7th, what are the positive traits you want to give them? Hustle, aggressive, clean, but they're not even that team right now.
No, they're not clean.
Yeah.
They
run it out.
They run recklessly on the base paths. I heard Schulte, I don't know where, it might have been last night, but the notion of like, well, besides these last 5 games, have been great in the base pass.
Well, other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how's the play?
Actually, you haven't, Schilt. Like, again, I don't know what the hell you're watching, and it's frustrating to say the least. Hearing him speak about this game. Anyway, what were we saying?
I have no idea. I was saying, like, who is this team?
Who is
what
this team?
are they? I mean, we've been sold this bill of goods that they're this hyper aggressive, hyper clean bunch of gamers, ballers, outworking. I mean, these are all of the words that Mike Schill has essentially
They're the
used.
greatest team ever.
Nobody goes more first to third than the Padres. Nobody goes more second to home than the Padres. But at the end of the day,
They're an average baseball dog.
and or
They
below
don't-
average.
they
so
don't-
32 and 34.
They don't do anything exceptionally well. They don't do anything, and we just talked about they lead the league in batting average, but they don't do anything that's like, oh, this team is better than every other baseball team with this certain thing. You want to go batting average? Sure, but I just told you the reason why they have the highest batting average in baseball is because on the road they hit close to 300, and that's why. They could be much better, but at home they're anemic.
You know how we always say, we've said this for the 6 years of Manny Machado's career here, this time here.
Yeah.
Essentially, as Manny goes, they go. How many times have we said that?
A lot.
6 years? And there's been some times like 2020 and 2022 where Manny's played really good baseball. The Padres have as well. And there's been times where he hasn't played well and they haven't played well. So it goes hand in hand. But what do we know about the team like without? Like, he's right now not playing. We don't know if he's going on the IL. Even if he comes back and is quote unquote healthy, how reliable are the Padres on him carrying them? He's hit 6 home runs. His OPS, even with his recent play improving, is under 700. Is anyone content with putting the eggs in the, as Manny goes, the Padres goes basket for the next 90 games? That doesn't sound like the greatest recipe in the world, does it?
Well, that's what the Padres signed up for. Like, for better or for worse. It's like
Is
when you get
that
married.
Is that where we are?
They got married, and it's like, till death do us part, for better or for worse,
Right,
sickness
like you
and in
signed up
health.
for this.
You signed up for this, and you rely on Manny a lot to perform. So when he's down, that's kind of a huge blow to your team, regardless of how he's performing. And you're going to need a healthy Machado to make the postseason this year. You just are.
Which is probably a reason that he should be on the IL.
Probably.
Because if
you're
he's
right,
fighting
yeah.
through another thing, you got elbow.
Yep.
He's always, there's
not even fully
always
healthy from the
something,
elbow
and
yet.
there's more than that. I know there's more. He's dealt with so many things throughout the course of his career. He's not a football player. He's not a running back. It's not like you wear down incredibly just based on the sport, but he plays a lot. He's fought through injuries. He's now coming off surgeries, and now he's got a hip flexor to deal with. Yet he wants to potentially pinch hit again, which delays, him possibly going on the IL. And the truth is, we talked about it all day, he's not going to go on the IL, even if he should go on the IL, which goes back to the point, are you really helping the team if the team goes as you go and you're not 100% healthy?
Yeah, if you're not 100% healthy, then we go back to last year when you weren't 100% healthy and you weren't really helping the team much. I mean, you had moments in September, but like, again, those moments in September really meant nothing because the team wasn't playing right. Even though there was always this like false hope that was skewed by the players of like, well, we're still in it. For Josh Hader, who was like, playoffs. A healthy Manny Machado is so critically important to this team. And if he's going to go out there to try to play at 65, 70%, is that really helping your team? Because I want Manny Machado close to 100% as possible. If that means going on the IL for 2 weeks here to do that, then so be it.
Yeah, I also want to remind people that a year ago, because remember, right now they're playing Arizona.
Yeah.
A year ago, Arizona is the team that makes it in as the last team and makes the World Series. That's not the point I'm going to make.
I want you to continue.
Here's the point I'm going to make.
Yes.
The point I'm making is a year ago, a loss to the Diamondbacks kept the Padres out of the postseason. You might be saying, what are you talking about? They were 2 games out. Well, it was head-to-head. 1 fewer Arizona win and 1 more San Diego win. They both would have had 83 wins, and the Padres would have had the head-to-head tiebreaker. My point is this. Arizona is among a series of teams in the National League that is near identical to the Padres. And all these series right now are going to be impactful. It was Arizona that went through San Diego last year to get to the postseason. I remember it vividly in August.
Yes.
The Padres stumbled against the Diamondbacks, who were playing terribly last year in August, until they met up with San Diego. Their season turned in a 2-series run against the Padres. They either went, and you're going to look it up, they either went 6-1 in a 2-series stretch or 5-2. In a 2-series stretch in August. It completely changed their season around.
Well, I'm looking at something different.
Oh, you're looking at something different. What are you looking at?
What I'm looking at, because I know what a lot of people say, and we even say it as well. It's like, well, look at the Diamondbacks. They had 84 wins last year. They made the postseason. Look at the Philadelphia Phillies. They had however many wins, 86, I think, in 2022.
Yeah, maybe.
Made the postseason. What's the date, John? Today's June 7th. All right. June 7th. Last year on June.
Yeah, but then they sucked. I know you're going to tell me they were good.
But that's like kind of where I'm going with this is if you're going to compare the Padres to the Diamondbacks of last year, I'm like, oh, the Diamondbacks had 84 wins. On June 7th last year, the D-backs were 37-25.
True.
And yes, they had a rough patch in there.
They were
in August.
59-60 at one point from there.
In August, yeah, they were not great, but still that good start that they had gave them the equity to like withstand the struggles that they went through.
Fair, but my point is this, that they were left for dead. They went, from your point, 12 over. They get to San Diego last August 11th.
Yeah.
57-59. 2 under.
I remember that, yeah.
And guess what they did?
They won 3 of 4.
They won 2 of 3.
Or 2 of 3, sorry.
And then guess what they did? A week later at home, they took 3 of 4. And it completely changed the trajectory of their season. My point is, don't let these teams do that to you again when you're Arizona. These are the teams you're fighting with. Pittsburgh, Washington, St. Louis, San Francisco. Yeah, like you can't. It's right in front of you. You might say, well, and I've said this too, it's just one series, but you lose 3 out of 4 to Arizona. These are the teams going through you. You lose 3 out of 4 to San Francisco. These are the teams going through you. You can't just lose series to teams that are right around you in the standings. Look up and be like, oh man, we just missed out. Well, this is why.
Yeah.
This is why.
Manny said it perfectly. He goes,
yeah,
these games are probably going to come back to bite us in the ass.
He said haunt
us.
Which is a very ominous word.
Very ominous. And
yeah.
he's probably right. You know, he can say those things. The manager refuses to say those things. He thinks everything's dandy and great.
Fire.
Mike Schultz is literally the guy in the middle of the house burning down. I'm not saying that the house is burning down here.
Not
literally yet, but he is that guy in the meme. This is fine, and everything around him is not fine. This team is not good right now. They are not. Like, they need to go out there tonight and just win a freaking baseball game. They need to stop this losing streak right now. And they did a good job when they lost 5 in a row earlier this year.
Oh, yeah, they played well after
went
it.
to, I think, 4 games under 500, and they immediately had a 4-game winning streak.
Yep.
And I was like, wow, that's different, because last year's team would have crumbled. And this year's team, it's like, oh, that was pretty gritty.
Mm-hmm.
That was good to see. But then they keep making the same mistakes over and over again. Hope that even though they have a lot of injuries right now, they don't use that as an excuse and then go out there and they win a freaking baseball game tonight.
Yeah, because to your point, like, there's a fine line where we can all laugh about the bad National League and say that nothing has been determined. It's all fair. And the season is not on the line tonight. Make no mistake.
No.
But all of a sudden you look up and you've lost, this would be a 6th. But, like, when you get to those crooked numbers, like 8-game losing
Not
streaks,
just a couple games like Schulte said.
Like, I don't care about the standings. When you start rattling off 8 consecutive, 10 of 11 stuff, like, you got real big problems. They have to avoid that at all costs, to your point, which speaks to the point you made earlier, which is valid, which is, why are you playing for a
Disappointing and frustrating, but even more so on a night like tonight where it seemed like guys were really fighting, and especially Jake in that last at bat to have it.
Yeah, even more so because you'd like to have a chance to actually end the game on your own terms. You know, I respect the umpiring profession highly, and I don't complain a lot. But I got guys busting their asses all night. I got a guy with a little mild strain with his hip flexor who shows up and willing to take an at bat, try to win us a ball game. That guy's playing their asses off all over the field, competing their tails off. Crony's in a dogfight there at the end against their closer. We get a guy on base, Pro works a walk, steals a bag, gets a chance to tie a game, brings Suarez in. Listen, man, you can't end the game when the ball, 6 inches off the plate and borderline high. I mean, listen, that's just not acceptable. And again, we lost. I take ownership of that. Don't want to blame anybody, but that's a bad way to end the ball game.
Higgy tonight straightened one out.
Yeah.
He seems to be coming around. Might it be a case of whoever's hot being your catcher?
I think it's going to be a combination of things. I think it's going to be, like tomorrow camp, he's going to grab King, and then, he's going to grab Waldy. He'll grab Waldy on Saturday. So we'll just take it. But good news is for Higgy, good at bats, got some pop, obviously, kept it fair, did a nice job again behind the plate. So he's earning his opportunities for sure.
The two.
All right, back with you, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. We apologize for the technical difficulties throughout the final hour here on Jon and Jim. I'm going to share a story because who's even listening? Because we've been on technical difficulties, so I'm going to share it anyway. So
you're like, so when I was 12,
yeah, here's the exactly. So one time I went to the doctor. Now, I once, I worked in minor league baseball, Jim.
Wait, what?
I want to say it was either my first or second year in minor league baseball. And I was in Kinston, not Kingston. I was in Kinston, North Carolina, this tiny, tiny town. And we had something similar going on. Like we had this radio equipment from like 1965 and we couldn't connect or we were having issues. I called an entire minor league baseball game without power to my cell phone. This is 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But I did have a headphone. I had I think a headphone connector, just like AirPods, but not AirPods. You know what I mean? I called an entire Lynchburg Hillcat Kinston Indian, that's who they were at the time, game on my phone from the stands.
What?
Not even the press box. And I forget the circumstance because maybe they were working on the equipment in the press box or something was going on. Or I called an entire minor league baseball game from my phone. I remember saying after that, if I can do that, I can essentially do anything in live radio. But it speaks to live radio. Like things happen.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that are outside of our control. Like we've got as good of a piece of equipment and engineer as you can have, but sometimes you have a connectivity issue that is completely outside of our control, and the
Right.
show goes on. So here we are drinking kombucha and getting you ready for Padres Diamondbacks.
I almost feel like I should order more Twinkies.
Honestly, it's not a bad idea
No, it's not a bad
because
idea.
you scarf those things. I've never seen you eat anything quickly, but you ate that really quickly.
I did. By the way, there's something because Naughty Barrel, fantastic spot for food, and happy hour till 6 p.m. So got about 20-ish minutes. Get your butt down here for some happy hour. They have what's called a Burwich of the Month.
Burwich.
Yeah. Listen to this, because I almost got it, but I'm not good with spicy food. So I don't know if I would have enjoyed it, but it sounds very intriguing, all right? It's a crispy, spicy honey mustard sandwich, fried chicken breast breaded in spicy Doritos.
Ooh.
With hot honey mustard, pepper jack cheese, bacon, a cabbage coleslaw, sriracha honey mustard sauce on a toasted brioche bun with house-made chips. I don't
Why
know
don't
about
you get that?
Because I said I don't like spicy food. I can't handle spicy.
Is Erin
food.
coming here?
She is. She'll be here.
Would she eat that?
Probably, yeah.
Does
She
she eat spicy food?
She can handle spice. Yeah, she can handle.
She
I
should
like
get that so we can see it.
Well, I mean, I kind of want to see it, but also I don't know if she would like totally eat it. It would just be like, oh, we're gonna get to look at it and have a couple bites, and we're done with it.
I mean, I'll have. Well, no, that has.
No,
meat,
you
right?
won't. You won't eat anything.
None of that.
None of that would you would eat, John.
But it sounds good.
It sounds like really good. It
Well,
sounds
it's like we
kind of
talk about.
interesting. Yeah.
We've been talking about the EA Sports College football game. I'm like, man, it's gonna be awesome. And then I'm like, wait, I haven't played a video game, nor do I have a video game system.
Right. So why would I?
Yeah. Well, I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
so pumped.
Right.
I'm like, oh, they have this mode.
This mode is awesome.
I can't believe they brought that back. I'm like, wait a second.
Like, oh yeah,
I've never played.
I don't have a PS5 at
Right.
all.
But it's like I'm living vicariously through that food.
Me too.
You know, and
that's
I'm
what
living
I'm doing.
vicariously through this video game.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though. I kind of want the video game because
Did
actually
you want the food?
Not the food, but the video game I definitely want.
Buy a PS5.
That's what I need to do. I need to do that thing on like TikTok where it's like how many likes to get a PS5.
Oh, like if this gets 1 million likes, will
and
you
she's
buy
like,
me a
it's
PS5?
like, yeah, she's like 20,000 likes. I'll buy you a PS5. I'm like, the boys got me, and then you post
Right.
it on like social media.
Or you could just buy one.
Like that one time, Darnay said, "How many likes to do a wrap-up show during Jim's wedding?" And I
And
said,
you said 1 million?
I said 1 million, and it got
And I
like
got 100 likes.
It got like 1,500 likes.
Did it get that many?
I think it did get that many. I think it got a good amount of likes, but not even close to 1 million, like I said.
So, Brent, update me on our schedule here. Are we just taking it? Are we
Are we
breaking
good?
again?
What's
Are
going on
we hanging out? We'll keep it for now. When we hear from Brent, he'll let us know if we're breaking. Okay, we are okay. So, because why not? We will do a back page on the other side. We are at the Naughty Barrel, a great spot downtown. Padres and Diamondbacks are 1 hour out. Game 2 of their series on a Friday night here at Petco Park. Jon and Jim with you. Stay with us. Jim's back page.
Shout out, Maria. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Maria. Jim's back page as well as next. All right, so imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free with no credit cards or car loan or personal loans. Hey, guys, it's Schaefer, and Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen because homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home, and you can use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner is saving over $850 a month doing this. That's crazy money. Listen, your home value, it's way up, and you can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Maybe you want to do a home improvement. Literally, hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Here's the number to call. You can call right now, 619-207-4336. That's 619-207-4336 or loanpronto.com, 619-207-4336. NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval. Equal housing lender. All right. Hopefully tonight for the Padres goes better than the last 3 hours for Jon and Jim. We're with you for the next 10 minutes.
We always
or
say
so.
that.
We always say that even without technical difficulties, but we really mean it tonight.
Yeah. Every day. It's like, man, I hope the Padres are better than Jon and Jim.
Padres have lost 5 straight. We're riding like a 40-game losing streak. We're at the Naughty Barrel. Great place to spend your weekend.
But we've played well during that 40-game losing streak, Jon.
Oh,
we broadcasted
well. We're a bunch
well.
of broadcasters.
We broadcasted well. We're a bunch of ballers and gamers.
All right, we're at 9th and Market. Great spot to begin your weekend here at the Naughty Barrel in the East Village. We're about 2 blocks away from Petco Park. So we've gotten you ready for tonight. Let's get you ready right now for Jim's back page.
Arby's, John, is bringing back its 5 for $5 classic roast beef sandwich deal next week through Father's Day, but you have to order them through the app or website. Are you into that, Brent? The Arby's 5 for $5 roast beef sandwich?
I like Arby's.
So this kind of, I don't know the look of it, if it's that appealing to me, but I haven't had an Arby's in forever. But hey, if you like Arby's out there, you're in luck. 5 for $5 roast beef sandwich. How you doing?
Do you know why they call it Arby's?
No.
Come on. Brent knows. Brent, why is it called Arby's?
I don't know.
Because RB. Roast beef.
Roast beef.
You guys didn't know that?
No.
Manny didn't know that.
Dude, I'm like the Mr. Fast Food connoisseur with trivia.
Apparently.
Yeah, that's why it's called Arby's. You guys need to get out more.
I don't know. Arby's is kind of like, you know, whenever we talk about Burger King, we're like, there's no Burger Kings in town.
Yeah.
Arby's feels kind of the same way, to where like there's only like 3 Arby's in the whole city.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. The Full House property in San Francisco has been listed to go on sale, John.
How much?
$6.5 million.
What?
That's it?
You know, that's it.
Dude,
That's a lot of money.
It's a house in California, and it's a celebrity TV house, so you'd think it would be more than that.
Well, I mean, it just was used for the open
the exteriors. I know, but still.
I always found it funny when I watched Full House that the exterior of the house it looked so tiny, and then inside it was just
huge,
this massive, huge house in San Francisco. I'm like, whoa. What? That's how they always did it on the TV shows. They did the exterior of the house, and it was like small, and then you go inside, and it's like this giant, massive house.
If you bought the house, would you like try to put together like a sitcom YouTube channel or something? Like, would you theme it around Full House? Or if you're buying that house, are you a Full House fan?
Yeah, you have to be.
Probably.
You always have to,
because there's like a plaque on the front of the house that says this is the Full House house.
Well, and you're going to pay extra just because it is the Full House house. So
Okay.
Yeah. Today is National Donut Day, John.
Right. You had Twinkies.
I did. Well, that's not a donut.
Whatever.
Yeah. Here are some deals from some donut places that you could go to today. Kind of getting late in the day, but still, I'll read them off. I hope you were at Randy's Donuts this morning, because Randy's Donuts was giving away 1 free classic donut to guests all Friday morning while supplies last. I'm sure they don't have any more of those, but that was a deal for the day. Krispy Kreme customers can get 1 free donut with no purchase necessary at any participating. Customers who purchase a beverage today will be treated to a free classic donut. Duck donuts. Oh, and we get some. What is this?
Going on?
Cookies.
Dude,
Thank you.
great.
Wow.
What a day this is.
What a day. What a day. Let's see here. Duck donuts, John. I'm sorry, but I've never heard of that place. It's in Huntington Beach.
Okay.
You can hear this radio station in Huntington Beach. Hey, there's my
That,
wife.
like super
Whoa!
scared me. Aaron came up like right from behind.
Oh my goodness.
And listen, it's an interest that you never
Dude,
know who's
hi.
going to walk up to you.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
the married couple.
my wife.
This is the full like we're reenacting the wedding because I was
Kinda.
officiating.
You can come in.
Or
yes.
this way.
Yeah, you can go that way. There we
Okay.
go. Duck Donuts. It is in Huntington Beach. They are offering 1 free donut while supplies last. So there you go. There's a couple places for free donuts if you
Okay.
want to do that on National Donut Day. And finally, AMC Theaters, John, is releasing an exclusive Deadpool and Wolverine magnetic belt buckle pin. Limited edition while supplies last. There are only 5,000 of these made.
Oh.
So, Brent, if you want a limited edition Deadpool and Wolverine belt buckle pin,
I don't even know what a belt buckle pin is.
Belt buckle pin.
I know what
Well,
a
like
belt
you-
buckle is, but I don't know what a belt
put on
buckle
your
in the
belt
middle of the
buckle, like
Yeah. Okay.
like the
Let me see it.
like the belt buckle.
Okay. It's relatively cool if you're into Wolverine
Relatively
belt buckle
cool.
pins.
Yeah.
Is what I would say.
Here's my wife. We're still on the air.
Hi, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I love you.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, isn't that cute?
Someone screen grab that.
Yeah. Someone screen grab that on our YouTube. Yeah, you're on. Yeah, there you go.
Nobody's gonna screen grab
It's
it.
fine. No one will screen grab it at all.
That
What a
is so
day.
fun.
What a
day.
final hour.
Yeah, some technical
We got
difficulties.
some cookies too.
Cookies were just
Yeah.
brought by
From educated.
Hi, France. The Aztec for life. Has set a Mariners record for career hit by pitches. More than Edgar Martinez tonight. He's been hit for a 90th time in his career.
Will he get a plaque for this?
Well, probably.
Probably if he's on the
Yeah.
Padres. He gets a
Oh
plaque.
my God.
Get two plaques.
Get a
Padres.
pennant.
Padres Hall of Fame.
All right, if you missed anything today, sportsSC.com, iHeartRadio app, iTunes, TuneIn Radio, or Spotify. Get to Naughty Barrel this weekend. Thank you, Manny. Dealing with
Thank you,
technical
Manny.
difficulties. Brent, thank you as always. For Jim and Aaron, I'm John. Enjoy the weekend. We'll see you Monday at 3 here to San Diego Sports 760.
Just stop by.